Hey guys, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Flesh to Blood stream. So tonight, it's the last night of testing before Cincinnati this weekend. We're packing up and leaving tomorrow a little after lunch, so I'm pretty excited to get into Cincinnati and just kind of. It's been a minute since I've played at a bigger tournament. Last real set of tournaments I played at was ProQuest. I didn't go to Worlds, and I didn't go to the Realm Rumble 20K or 10K in Cincinnati or Columbus, wherever it was at. So I'm really excited to go play the Battle Hardened this weekend. I think it's going to be a really good weekend. I'm going to have a really good time. So the Cincy ends Sunday or Saturday. So it ends Sunday. It's technically two individual tournaments, Ben. There's a one-day tournament on Saturday and a one-day tournament on Sunday, and I think we're going to stay and play in both of them. So I'm pretty pumped to go and play this weekend. I think it's going to be a good time. I worked on this file list that I'm playing this weekend a whole lot over the last month, really, trying to prepare for this event. So I'm hoping that on Saturday I show up and I play well and I can see some results from putting in the time and the work. I have changed my file list just a little bit. I was originally playing Ancestral Empowerment in the sideboard because I felt like it helped me race in certain matchups. Like it just helped me race my opponent. But I have since cut the Ancestral Empowerments, and I have added in that all you got for the mirror. I wanted some mirror tech, so I added in that all you got to the mirror, and it's been really good. I've really enjoyed playing with that card. It's been super solid, and it's been really good. I think I've played 7 games, what I would call 7 real games on Talishar with it ever since then, and I'm 5-2 into the mirror going first when I board the way that I'm going to be talking about tonight. We got Alexander coming on the stream a little bit later. I think he's going to be here, and he's going to help us play the 5 mirror a little bit. Now, his list is quite different than mine, so it'll be a good test for our list. We've played a little bit and kind of talked about the matchup, but he's a good player, so him coming on will really help give some insight into the deck and into the matchup, I think, and just different ways that it can be built, because his list is kind of spicy, so I'm pretty excited about it. How far a drive? Sandra, it's about 5 hours and 15 minutes for me. It's not too bad. We come straight up through Kentucky, and it just brings us right into Ohio. So it's not too bad of a drive. It's mostly just interstate where there's 4 of us going, and we got to pick up one of our buddies in Kentucky on the way there. So we're gonna leave around 1 o'clock tomorrow. Hit Kentucky and get some gas on the way in, and then we're gonna keep on rolling, and we're gonna roll right into Cincinnati, and probably, I imagine, play some games tomorrow night in the Airbnb. I always tell myself I'm never going to play on Friday night because I just want to take the night off and not think about cards. I just want to relax and get ready for Saturday, but it's just what you do. The night before tournaments, you always end up playing in the room. It's always what happens, so. Oh, man. Yo, Kyle, with the 5 months of big support on YouTube, just saw that pop up. I was like, he's probably not here, but if you are, man, I appreciate the support. I appreciate you supporting me on YouTube, man. I'll Ben with a hydrate. Let's go. Ben got us with a hydrate. All right. So I've got our deck loaded up here. We're just going to go ahead and jump in and see what we can play against tonight. Actually, you know what I want to do? What I really want to do is I'm going to put looking for Phi, Bravo, Azalea, or Dromai. I'm going to be honest, I think those are going to be 4 of the most popular decks this weekend. So that's kind of what I've been looking to test into a little bit recently, just to see how the deck feels. And I have a really good, it feels really good at almost everything, as long as we're not just getting crazy high roll or something. So, but even if we do, that kind of stuff happens, it'll just be important to make sure that I shake it off this weekend and keep grinding and trying to win the games. So my opponent chooses to go first. That's super interesting. Command and Conquerors, Reinforced Alliance, and Sink Belows. We take out Double Strikes. And we take out Art of Wars in this matchup. And then we leave in the Kodachis and Mask of Momentum, which is what I found the most success playing so far tonight. Yo, Drew, what's up, dude? How are you, brother? Guys, if y'all are hanging out tonight with our last night of testing before Cincinnati, I appreciate you guys being here. I'm hoping to get some good games in tonight so that I can make my file list look a little bit cleaner here. They're playing a Nothos, which I actually really like, but Ed Knight just says that it's better to play. Ed Knight says that it's just better to play the Shield, the Buckler, and the Titan's Fist, which I don't know. Ed Knight plays a lot more Bravo than me, so I'm pretty inclined to take his word for it. But I'm a pretty big fan of playing Anothos in this matchup. So I think we're just gonna go Dachi CNC here, honestly, just because I like making our opponent decide if they want to block with. I like making our opponent decide how they want to block here. Actually, is it better to go to throw to just get the snatch here in case they dominate something big? I don't know. I kind of like this play, honestly. The CNC feels pretty good to me here. Get the bad games out of the way tonight so you can beast it up in Cincinnati. Drew, I like the way you think, brother. I like the way you think, man. Yo, Trent, what's up, dude? How are you, brother? Hope you guys are doing all right tonight. If it doesn't sound like it, I just woke up from a nap. So they lose their... Okay. So they lose their sink below. All right, so no pummel here. So they kept this just to throw the CNC at me. I mean, we could just give 2 cards here. Like if we give Stab Wound and E-Strike, we can pitch Mounting Anger to the Bittering Thorns, and then we can throw the Snatch. Like they can't throw a pummel here, so pretty awkward hand for our opponent to start the game out there. Hell yeah, I'm doing all right. Watching some Fab and vibing after work. Dude, I felt that though. I'm ready for tomorrow's workday to be over, man. I'm ready for the weekend and I'm ready to play some cards. Sink below from hand. All right, so we CNC to sink below and then they just gave us a sink below right there. I mean, depending on what they have, they may just give us an arsenal here. They could always just block 3 if they have the CNC pummel. Go to 31 and then CNC pummel is like pretty good here. A pretty good play considering what we're looking at here. So, oh no, just give me 2 pieces of equipment. Give me the Quicken token. All right. Well, they do have Quicken coming up, so doesn't really matter what they do now. We're just kind of bailed out by double reinforced line, which is kind of crazy. I think I just want to go sink below here and then put reinforced line on the bottom. Even if they pummel this, I don't really care. Like, are they about to play pummel here? Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Honestly, like, I'd call that a real win for me. It's felt like they've had some very awkward hands so far, which is like, I mean, I'm really just okay with that. So, we're just gonna go brand Dachi Phoenix Flame. Throw all of our attacks here, and then threaten to put Mask on the stack, and then we'll Arsenal reinforce the line here. Don't forget our Rabble counter. Oh, Drew, don't worry, man. Don't you worry, buddy. I got the Rabble counter for us. I've already made a note in my notebook so that when I open my notebook to keep score this weekend, the very first thing I'm gonna see is Rabble counter, and I'm gonna like add to it all weekend so that I can report back on the Rabble counter when we get back. Normally when I play in person, it's a lot better than when I play on Talishar. Like honestly, like that's not even like me just trolling. Like it is normally 100% better when I play online than when I play on or when I play in person than when I play in Talishar. I really like the new Dominate symbol. I think this is really cool. 5 go again into Blaze Headlong here. I mean, they can't pummel me, so that feels pretty good. And have three levels. Rabblin', Yablin', and Babblin'. Okay, dude. I like where this is going. I fucking love our homie squad we got, dude. I do too, man. Like I've honestly like really enjoyed just like talking to you guys and like hanging out like in the Discord. It's like been a lot of fun, like just talking cards and everybody chilling has been a really good time. It's a lot of fun to like just talk theory and everything that we've been discussing lately. But all right, so we got, all right, so let's see. We got Rabblin', Yablin', and Babblin'. What's gonna be blue? I'm an idiot. Rabblin is like, I assume R is for red, right? I feel like an idiot. It took me a second to get that. I can definitely tell that I was just asleep. Oh man. I like that. I'm literally just gonna like in my notebook. I'm gonna write those 3 words, and then I'm just gonna keep tallies all weekend. Just gonna keep tallies all weekend. This is a take 4 and just go ham hand. Hopefully we don't have some Babinus babbles right here. Hopefully we're rabbling right here, not babbling. Dude, I love that. That's, oh man, that's gonna be so much fun to say all weekend. If you want a for fun, less serious testing game, I'd like to show you the absolute stupidity that is my KO's deck. That is my KO deck. If you're down, yeah, dude, I'm absolutely down for that, man. I'm absolutely down. If you wanna play KO after this, then let's do it. I was like, I'm waiting on Alexander to hop on before we play some games. I don't know when he'll be on, but we're just kind of chilling until he gets on. So yeah, absolutely, man. If you want, we'll play right after this. Let's go. We're rabbling, boys. We're rabbling. And then we're going to go rabbling again, and then we're going to throw the lava burst here. Unfortunately, these are not draconic chain links, so we're not going to be able to Phoenix Flame here, but we're still have a pretty good, still have a pretty good turn. Like, we put our opponent to 16 right here. Man, drawing another reinforcement line. You'll love to see it. You'll love to be drawing hot. We rabbling, baby. Let's go. That is absolutely right. I think I'm just going to say no blocks here, honestly. Like, yeah. So is that the 3rd red pummel? No. He pitched one earlier. And then he's pitched 2 blue pummels, at least. So we're going to go to 15. I'm going to discard the Mounting Anger because it's just a 1 for 4. What have we played so far? We played a Starstruck, 1 Command and Conquer, and no Spinal Crushes here. So we'll see how they block. If they have all 4 cards left in their hand, then we're probably going to name Starstruck here. Although, yeah, because, I mean, the reinforced line plays around CNC or Starstruck here, so. Drew, I think Trent is in Florida. I think Trent's in Florida, brother. Yeah, we're naming Starstruck here. Yeah, I thought I remember Trent telling me that he lived in Florida. I'm also really excited to try that chili place this weekend. I have it has been hyped up by it's been hyped up by Trent, by I think everybody's like been hyping that up really. So block 3, play the reinforcement line, Arsenal to Command and Conquer, Dachi Snatch. Feels like a pretty good play here. We could alternatively like just play Sink Below and Furnace here, but I think I'd rather just stay on top of the... I think I'd rather just stay with the Sink Below and Arsenal here. I think that's a better play. We're using our D-Reacts as efficiently as possible, even though Reinforcement Line is technically a better D-React because it plays around the Command and Conquer line of text. See, this is really fun here. I love this block. Like, they should... If you're going to block with Civic Steps on a Kadachi, block on the first one. Now, like, don't get me wrong, they get ultimate punished here because I have a Snatch, but, like, that just... I feel like that's a really good, like... A really good way, like, it's good practice, is to always block the... Oh, they're playing Mangle. Interesting. Is to always block the first Kadachi with the second Civic Steps, just because of how powerful it is. Okay, so no pummel here. So I think we're just looking at block 6 here. Like, it's pretty good tempo swing for them, but we can just pitch the Snatch to throw Sensor here. And then if it hits, again, depending on how many cards they have, we'll pick up our name here. Skyline Chili. That's right, dude. I'm so pumped for Skyline Chili this weekend. I really am. I've told everybody multiple times that, like, that is, like, what I'm... like uber excited for. Actually, am I just supposed to name Command and Conquer here because I can block everything else? I think I am, because the Command and Conquer Pummel like really threatens my sink below here, because I can block everything else. Like with the sink below in my arsenal. Yeah, like I mean, we would have stopped their turn, but like at the same time, like there's no pummel incoming here, and we're just gonna play the sink below, and we're not gonna sink anything because our hand's absolutely amazing. We're just gonna go Rising into Blaze here. We're gonna go Rising into Blaze and then Arsenal our sink below. I'll have to make a command for like Trent and the chili and like Drew and the hot dog toppings. That's gonna have to be like a command I come up with. It'll have to be something funny though. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna make the rabblin', yablin', babblin' thing command. That'll be really funny. Sigil to go to 7, then you fall to 3, and then we Arsenal our sink below and pass. And if our opponent, like, they have one more CNC, if they play the CNC right here, then I was like, we'll just block with equipment, because it's pretty good. Like, does this even matter? Dachi, everything else. Like, we joined them at 3, and then we have nothing. They're at 1, and then it's take 3 cards out of their hand. So I guess technically I could just stay. I could take 3 less, because the inevitability of Kodachis is pretty good here. So I mean, we'll take at least 2 cards out of their hand here. More likely 3, but either way. Exclamation point babble should make like a sad trumpet noise, dude. I mean, I'm down for that. I'd have to look into like how to get that set up, but I'm totally down for that. What if I wanted a command for a much darker joke, such as one to do with perhaps our 16th president? I think that could be arranged, Trent. I think that could be arranged. I mean, the jokes can only get so dark on camera, but yeah, no, we could arrange that. I'll see what fun stuff I can come up with for everybody. So nah, actually, we're gonna block Mask. They're just at go. Yeah. You love to see it. Yo, let's go. CPL Fumble Bottom. That's an interesting name. Thank you for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate it. Appreciate you being here. Tell me a little bit about yourself. What's your name? What got you into Flesh and Blood? And what's your favorite hot dog topping? You can thank my man Drew over on YouTube for that one. Phoenix for 1 missed. Riku, they had an active choke slam last turn. So the Phoenix Flame wouldn't have come in for any damage, because technically it has to gain power to do anything. So we didn't miss anything. I just was aware that the choke slam, we let the choke slam crush us, and it wasn't going to be a relevant triggered effect right there. So good question though. I appreciate the catch. I can go to 2 here and then go Dachi, Ronin Renegade, Command and Conquer. I mean, actually, I could go Dachi. Hang on, let's make sure I don't mess this up. So we pitch this, go Dachi. We have 1 floating. We pitch Ronin Renegade, 1 Draconic Chain Link, pitch Soul Beat Strike, activate 5 for 2. We come in with Phoenix Flame for 1 and then CNC for 6 to win the game. Yeah, I think that's a perfectly fine hand. It's just exclamation point Miss Lincoln. Oh, dude. I can do that. I'll set that up, man. I'll set that up. I will make that a command before I go to bed tonight, so that it'll be here for the next stream. If there's a downtime moment here, I might be able to make it during the middle of the stream, but I think that'll have to be a next stream kind of thing. But that's hilarious. That's hilarious, dude. I love that, Trent. Oh man. All right, I didn't miscount. I can definitely tell that I'm like... And then we got the CNC to push it over the top. They block 3 and we get them here. Good game, opponent. 11.31 over 13 turns. I've been saying that the average Bravo game is between 12 and 15 turns. Our 13 turn game right there just totally like completely reinforces that feeling that I have. So pretty good start for the night. Fair. Yeah, Rico, I made the decision to let the crush effect happen instead of blocking with some equipment so that I could, so that the Phoenix Flame was irrelevant there. But, that was a good catch, though, because it's very possible that I am making misplays sometimes. So I appreciate you pointing it out, though. Appreciate you keeping me honest. Then the response is something like, Trent, just like the joke died, dude. Just like, never mind. Oh, man, this would be hilarious. Kadatify, Talishar, we played against Bravo. The Bravo let us go second, which I don't really understand here. D-Rex lined up well. Game plan feels solid. I was also, like, they were playing blue pummels, which is, like, kind of interesting, because I haven't seen people play blue pummels in a while. Like, people do play the blue pummels, but, like... Like, people do play blue pummels, but, like, you just don't see it very regularly, so... But, Trent, I got you, man. I'll come up with a command, and I'll come up with a command. We'll get you a Miss Lincoln command, I promise. It's Ben. CPL is Corporal. It's my former Army rank. Oh! Ben? Like your name's Ben? Or is this, like, Ben Hannah that I'm friends with, that, like, I play cards with? I apologize for missing that CPL is Corporal. I'd be lying if I said I was ever in the military. So when it comes to that kind of stuff, I'm a little uncultured when it comes to that kind of stuff. And chili and cheese, yep. Oh, dude, let's go. Chili cheese dog, man. I like it. I like it, honestly. I'm a big chili and hot dog fan. Trent, you still want to play a game, brother? I can make an open format game here if you want. Trent only, because I have to put it all in caps before people actually realize that I'm like, I don't know why, but people will only read messages if you like put it in all caps, which is like weird because I hate feeling like I'm yelling at people on the internet that I don't know, which is like really weird. Yo, Caleb, what's up, dude? How are you, brother? You're an honorary veteran as long as it gets you a discount? Oh my god, Drew. I feel like that's a quick way to start a fight with someone who is a veteran. I'm gonna give it a minute. If you're still down for a game, I set an oh, let's do it. Are you saying that you have one that says, oh, let's do it? I wish I get the discount. Caleb, I wish I got the discount too, but I completely understand why I don't get the discount. Those people fought hard for our country, so. Drew said I'm a veteran, so I give you the permission? Oh, dude, that's awesome. Drew, I didn't know you were a veteran, man. That's awesome, dude. You might have told me that before, and like I just can't remember. But dude, like I did not know that, man. Thanks for your service. I appreciate that. And Ben, thank you for your service also as well, man. I appreciate that. You guys are the real heroes. I'm just the guy who gets lucky enough to sit at home and play video games and have a good time with y'all at the end of the day. I don't know what is going on with YouTube. Is acting real weird on my computer for some reason. I don't know what's going on. All right, Trent, let's do this. Good luck, have fun, brother. Against KO, dude, I'm gonna be honest. I think we're just supposed to bring in the CNCs here and like try to race. We could bring in the Sync Belows as like an alternative here to like trying to play a little bit of defense because the KO deck can do some real dumb stuff here. I don't know. Let's try CNCs the first time around and see how it goes. Like I don't know. Like let's just try CNCs and see what happens here. Like. Mask of Momentum is good enough for Bravo. Mask of Momentum is good enough for KO. So I'm going to be real. So far, I've played this deck Monkey Brain, so don't expect the most epic battle. I'm expecting Trent to like absolutely roll me, dude. Honestly, like all kidding aside, like I don't know anything about this deck, so I'm kind of worried that Trent might just like rickroll me right here on camera, make me look like a bum with only one weapon. He's sitting over there going, weapons? Take them both out. I don't need them. I mean, let's block 8 here to get the Quicken token at least. Time to berserk? Drew, don't say that. Don't say that, man. We don't want to be berserked. I really like going E-Strike draw card here. We could alternatively throw the Censor. He pitched a CNC, so we're down 1 CNC already, which is kind of nice. So, I mean, like, E-Strike draw card is, like, pretty broken here, I feel like. But, like, I'd have to pitch the Censor to the E-Strike, I think. It could also just be... I could pitch the Stab Wound to play Censor to start out with. And then, honestly, we're probably just naming... Oh, Caleb says to name Blood Rush if Censor hits. I was going to say Berserk, but Blood Rush is probably also the key here. Let's just lead on Censor and see what he does. Since he gave us the Quicken token that early on, like, I understand why Trent made the play on turn 0, but, like, I'm also just going to, like, be able to... Oh, take a card out of our hand here, huh? Okay, thank God he took the E-Strike. The fact that he took the E-Strike makes this a little bit easier for us. Praise God. I don't know if Trent's maybe supposed to save that for a later turn. I honestly don't know. His turn just like maybe like crazy good, and he just wanted to try and slow me down as much as possible. Unfortunately, we can't make Trent give us a card here on the mask hit. I was like, he can just give us legs if he wants to. Dude, Trent's hand's gonna be like insane. I'm like very terrified, honestly, because like Trent has like he only gave up a card to stop the Censor hit, which means he has the power hand. I swear, if I have to relive dying on camera again, I'm gonna, like, if I have to die, like, super fast to another, like, brute player on camera, that's, like, gonna be a big sag. What the heck? What the heck is this? Rising, Rabble. If we hit a blue, we'll go E-Strike for 7, put the Rabble on the bottom. I think we can just take 5 here, right? Like, this seems like an okay turn. Raise Hail and Praise Dale. Dude, I like it. I'm trying to think of something funny I could say that would, like, make sense with Brute, but I can't. Command and Conqueror was chosen. Ooh, so Trent's trying to set up a big hand here. He named Command and Conqueror instead of Artivore, which is, like, super spicy to me. Let's start off. Hey, we're rabbling, boys. We're rabbling. You love to see it. Let's go. We got a rabbling counter at 2 tonight. Trent's gonna be like, of course you would hit reds against me. Oh. Oh man, Trent just said rabbling, dude. God, I love this. You guys make streaming so much fun. I think we can just get one card out of Trent's hand here. Oh, he's gonna give me Mask. That's spicy. Do I just play the Censor here? Like, are we just playing the Censor, or am I going E-Strike? Put this on the bottom, draw card, snap into, like, if I draw blue, Dachi Censor. Or actually, I know the card on top. No. Mama didn't raise no blockers. My man, Mama didn't raise no blockers. I love it. BRB heating up some croissants. My man. It's a Blood Rush? Yeah, this definitely feels like a Blood Rush turn, Caleb. Hey, what's up, Milkman? How are you, brother? Let's just play the Censor. Let's not be greedy. Let's just not be greedy. Trent's like I am high rolling Trent like crazy right now, dude. Like, this is absolutely crazy. We've had 2 Censors in the first 2 turns. It's not exactly that, like, It's not exactly like we're like literally just high rolling him here in like the sense that like what traditional high rolling. Wow, gave us Tunic. Interesting. That's spicy. Okay. Oh, there it is. All right. Whenever you discard a random card with 6 or more, banish it. If you do, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's 6 or more, draw that card. All right. I feel it. Oh, dude, yeah. Oh, and he had the skull crack? Where did we get a mite from? Where did we get a mite from? The heck did we get a mite from? Gains the resources off the skull crack? I feel like I'm in danger right now. Okay, let's think about how we can do this. If I block for 3, I can go Brand Kadachi Cincy. We'll wait and block later and see what we have here. I can feel it. KO. Oh. You get a Might token. The first time you discard a 6 or more. Oh, okay, gotcha. So it wasn't worth it at all. Oh man, that sucks. That's really sad. Now like that's a feels bad moment. Like, I hate that for him. Like, that is a real feels bad moment right there. Like, Trent just getting got by like the variant side of his deck right there. All good. Live by the luck, die by the luck. I mean, to be fair, that is like how like the brute players live most of the time. They're just like, you know what? It's like, you know, F it, we ball, or get balled on. Like, there's not really much else to it. I kind of just like 5 go again here into Command and Conquer. We could draw a card, actually, I guess, and use snaps, but I think I'd rather save the snaps for a snatch if we can set up a snatch and an Art of War turn, because and we're gonna get the CNC hit here. This feels really good. We're getting a lot of value out of this. And we get the last Berserk. That's all of them, right? Yeah. Wait, is it? Yeah, that's all of them. Discard this to create an agility token. At the start of your turn, destroy this, and your next attack this turn gets go again. Well, that's pretty cool. Oh, and he gets a might token because of it? That's actually pretty cool. That is not a bad line of play here. When I play against brute players, they always roll 5s and 6s. Milkman, that is normally my experience, honestly. Is that like brute players are like hot rolling 5s and 6s. That happens. I feel like that happens to me a lot too. But they just giving me he's just giving me mask. I mean, I think Trent's just like realizing that he probably has to flip the game here one way or another. Now, Snatch for 5 is pretty good. I could have alternatively went Ronin Renegade and then Snatch for 5. And if he says no blocks, we can snap and then E-Strike for 7. I actually think that's a better play. So now I mean, I guess we get to like snap here. Like, we can snap and still E-Strike for 7. Like, this is just like I'm drawing very well right now, and Trent did not draw very well this game, is all we're seeing. Oh. And he gets another might token. Okay. Yeah, we're going to go to 23. I mean, our turn's not bad. I mean, like, I guess we're going to lead here. I'm going to Arsenal this Art of War because I don't need to keep it here. I feel like this is a very bad matchup for KO. Yeah, Caleb, I would agree. I feel like this is very, like, 5 favored. The Brute matchup has always been pretty 5 favored as it is anyway, but I feel like Like, this game especially is like an example of how it can get out of hand very quickly. Like, Trent made a couple of early decisions, which I'm definitely not going to say are wrong, because like there are a lot of times you have to make like hard decisions, and it's like, this either works out for me or it doesn't. And it's like, I understand that kind of stuff, because that's how it is sometimes. But he got very unlucky with his Blood Rush turn. Also, I had back-to-back sensors to play around his Blood Rush, so like that was really good for me. Rip the gloves for a 4. I like it. Yeah, we'll just take 4 here. When they roll double 1s, I pull out the match results and let them hit I1 for me. Oh, that's kind of funny. Is this just worth giving all of my equipment here? Because he's just going to name Art of War, right? Like, my hand is just good enough to win the game here. Like, by itself, I think. Like, the double Art of War here looking real solid. Looking real solid. Double Art of War probably just wins the game right here. That was weird. Buff and banish. Am I having a stroke here? Buff, banish. Okay. I guess I was having a stroke. That was weird. And then we get to play this again. We get to go buff and banish here. I hate to get rid of the mounting anger here, but I mean, this just like wins the game if he doesn't have a D-react here. Right here, so 2 of our Art of Wars coming up in back-to-back hands like that. We're just like actually insane. Funny part's we only had an AVPT of 12.29 over the course of the game, but like that was like the sensors were so good early. Like I literally had sensor like on back-to-back turns where he wanted to play Blood Rush, and it just ended up being insane for me right there. Like, that was just really high rolling for me. Yeah, Trent, dude, I don't really think that was a fair representation of the matchup, man. Like, I had, like, the Command & Conquer got value when it got hit. Like, there was a lot of value when I was able to hit with the Command & Conquer. There was, like, the back-to-back sensors very early was really good. Every time you tried to keep cards, I just had a very good power card to play right there. Like, that I don't think that game was a fair representation of the matchup at all, dude. I do think that game really highlighted the power level of the card Sensor, if I'm being honest, which I really like, because that's one of those cards that like not everybody really agrees with me on. Nobody's been like, this card is bad, but some people think that like Take the Tempo or like Breaking Point is better. Some people even think Razor's better in that spot, but man, I really like that card. That was emasculating? That was not emasculating. That was Talishar being Talishar, man. It's okay, Trent, I was cheering for you the whole time. Well, at least friends were pulling for friends, right? Even if it's not me, friends were pulling for friends, so I can take that. And the dud Blood Rush and Berserk hurt? Oh, yeah, dude, your Blood Rush turn was like literally just claw, right? Like you played Berserk, saw Berserk on top, and then like literally just clawed me. Yeah, it was real. Like that was really bad, dude. I was expecting that turn to like hurt a lot more than it did, but that turn was like really rough. KO. I was able to go second. We got the win. Trent drew very poorly, and I drew Censor at good times to force blocks from Trent. Okay. All right, 2-0 so far. Feeling like a pretty good start to the stream so far tonight. Let's go back to playing CC. So yeah, we'll just go back to playing regular CC. Oh man. I really hope that my file list feels as good this weekend as it just did right there. If it feels like that, if I draw that way this weekend, like I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, it'll be close games all weekend because, you know, these people, like, the people that, like, play at these big tournaments, like, they're really good and they always find a way to crawl back into games, it seems like. But I like, drawing like that all weekend would be pretty solid. For my play today, those Berserk and Blood Rush turns can claw a game back from, like, a 20-point health difference. It's insane when it works. I believe that, Trent. I mean, Berserk and Blood Rush is, like, a crazy combo. Like, I could see that being like absolutely insane. Like, I definitely, like, I wasn't up very often. I wasn't up very much when you had it. If I don't have the sensor right there and I just have like a snatch or, you know, another card right there, excuse me, I could definitely see you in that spot, just like being able to play and do what you want to do right there, making your turn a lot better. At least I assume it makes it a lot better there. And then you have a much more explosive turn, which probably puts you ahead of me and gives you a lot better positioning in that game overall. Why only 57 cards? I run 57 cards as like a like 57 cards that I really like. I really like the 57 cards. We're gonna go first against Vincent. Oh, it's Hey Noel. Let's go, dude. Like this guy, super nice. Let's bring in Tide Flippers. I learned my lesson on New Year's Eve. I barely remember it, but I learned my lesson. But I really like the 57 cards, Milkman. The 57 cards are like those are like my 57 cards that I pretty much play in every matchup. Those are like my 57 core cards, and then my 12 cards that I have in my sideboard are like my cards that I like in different matchups here and there. Is kind of how I see it. Now you'll see me cut double strikes throughout the course of a tournament, so like it's not always that way, but like generally that's what we're looking for. Do I want Command and Conquer? I think I want Command and Conquer over Sink Below here. Okay, get this nonsense out of here. You know, honestly, I don't hate arsenaling the Warmonger's Diplomacy here. You know what we could do? We could go Dachi Rabble, play Warmonger's Arsenal Rising Resentment, so that they can't set up. I actually really like that line of play. That's actually a really... It's actually a really sweet... I actually really like that. Being able to play Warmongers on turn 0 is crazy. This is my weekend to get a Banksy while y'all are in Cincinnati. LOL, Ben, dude, that's hilarious, man. Dude, you won an armory the other night, man. What are you talking about? You like literally won an armory the other night, dude. I wasn't there, but I heard you won an armory the other night, man. Like it's super exciting. Love to see that kind of stuff. They have one that costs 2, but I can't remember what it's called, so we'll just name Rising Resentment here. And then I mean, like, this hand's really good. I wish we had a blue, but this hand is very good for sure here. I run 57 in Prism and sideboard my auras for the matchup. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, Caleb. I can see that. Like, I 100% see that. Like, I think you want to sideboard certain things in certain spots, and that makes a lot of sense to me. Send me the spreadsheet inside when you get a chance, or are they in the Discord? So I part of my spreadsheet is in the Discord already. But I don't have like my sideboard put together in my deck list. It's all up here just from playing games over the last like 2 months. So I don't really have a chance to sit like and put that all together. Sorry, let me tell Noel that we're thinking here. I don't really have a chance to like sit and put that together. Like it's all like literally just in my head, man, from playing it over the last few months. I've changed cards when I want to change cards, which I know a lot of people think is a very loose way to play, but it's like, I like, well, really, like, that's how I've been playing for the last, like, I don't know, like, month or so. But I can try to get it put together and send it to you tonight. It'll have to be later tonight if that's okay, Nathaniel. What? I did not know that was a thing? You didn't know what was a thing, Drew? What did I do? Did I do something crazy? Or are you talking about that, like, the matchups aren't there? I was like, because I don't think I have matchups in the list. I think we're going to play the Art of War, considering this widespread destruction is just staring at us. I hate that we have to pitch a red here, but... This is like really good for us though. Kadachi. Ronin Renegade for 4 on hit mask. This is feeling really good right here. Warmongers is goated right now. Dude, yeah. Like, Warmongers is amazing in this matchup, brother. Absolutely amazing in this matchup. I really like it in this matchup, Caleb. All right, so reduce to Rune Chant. Kadachi. After the stream, send me the Azalea plan, and I'm a cram tonight. I mean, if you want to know the Azalea sideboard plan, I can just tell you that right now while we're talking. Is that all you're looking for, Nathaniel? Is just the Azalea sideboard plan? Because I can tell you that right now. I know it off the top of my head. The spreadsheet? Yeah, Drew, I keep a spreadsheet of all the games I play on the lists that I'm testing. So like every week, like we have a team Discord that we use, and I have a list of all the games I play on a weekly basis, and then I post them in the Discord, and I talk about my thoughts on the list that I played, what I might change, like the cards that I play differently. Like, yeah, anytime you hear me say I'm gonna log my games, that's because I'm literally sitting over here logging my games in my Excel spreadsheet that I have to try and prepare. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing right there. Pretty much. Okay, I did not know that. Oh yeah, sorry, Drew. I thought I talked about that quite a lot. I figured everybody knew that, but that's my fault, man. That's on me. That is on me, brother. Well, shadow puppetry, huh? Well, I think we're just gonna... So, like, this is gonna be for 7. Honestly, like, I kind of want to block the shadow puppetry hit because I don't want to give them anything crazy. They're gonna make 2 more rune chants here. So, if I just take the 5... This is one of our only chances that we'll really have double blues, but... we can block 7. Or I guess we can block 8 right here. I really just want to block the on-hit effect of shadow puppetry right here. I need to do that too, even if it's just for myself. Yeah, Drew, I mean, I like the spreadsheet is fantastic, buddy. Like, oh, sorry, Nathaniel. I got distracted. So Nathaniel, when I play into Azalea, I bring in the 3 Sink Belows, I bring in the 3 Command and Conquers, I bring in the 3 Reinforced Aligns, I cut my 3 Artivores, and I cut the double strikes. I think this is fine. They can just have the rune chant at the end of the turn. Like, I think that's perfectly okay. I mean, I don't like giving them like 1 because it makes them easier for them to play other things this turn, but that was my guess. Yeah, that's the best plan I found into Azalea, is to bring in all your like D-reacts and like stuff like that, and just try to play like a slower game with them. Warmongers is really good. CNC is really good. E-Strike is really good, as you know. But Drew, yeah, having a spreadsheet, man, for like all the stuff that like you do is like really good in my opinion. Like I am a big fan of like having. I think I'm gonna Arsenal this here. Like, I guess they could get to 3 rune chants, but I don't really know how they get to 3 rune chants. Nah, let's just throw it. Let's just throw it. I don't know. But yeah, dude, so I started doing that when I played Magic back in the day. When I wanted to qualify for the Pro Tour for the first time, I did it by hand back then because I was a 19-year-old boob, but I kept every game that I played by hand in a notebook, and then I would sit and talk about it. Okay, so he could get to... Oh, he had to use Tunic to do it, but he could have got to a 3rd rune chant right here. So we'll see what we got here. But yeah, no, it was... But yeah, the notebook's great, man. Like, keeping track of your games is absolutely fantastic in every fashion. Yeah, so I mean, he's gonna have 2 rune chants going in the next turn, which is like a little sad here. But there's no on hit. We can just go to 26. We're essentially going to be at 24, which is fine. And now I have Brand, Kadachi, Phoenix Flame. And then we'll throw the Lava Burst at the end of the chain link here. With them having 2 Rune Chants here, there's like pretty much never a chance I'm going to put myself in a situation where I'm going to arsenal a power card here, because they'll absolutely eat me alive if I do that. It'll be really bad for me. So Kadachi for 1. Now the Phoenix Flame is going to be for 2 because of Shuko here. So I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see if they give me Crown here, honestly. I don't know. Yeah, I think I need to be a bit more diligent about that stuff, because I want an invite this year. Yeah, Drew, if you're like really grinding to get an invite this year, man, then that would be one of the best things I could tell you to do. Like just from one player to another. Is that like it's very beneficial to have all of your games somewhere recorded. And now I actually record my streams so that when I have a game and I'm like, man, where did that game go wrong? What happened? What did I do? I can actually just physically go back and look at that game and like play and like figure out what I did wrong. Now, a lot of people watch their own gameplay. I think I do it more than most. Ooh, interesting. But a lot of people watch their own gameplay in hopes of like finding their mistakes. I actually really like... Oh, man, this is going to be bad. This is going to be like their big turn. Okay. So, I mean, they're just going to make 2 Rune Chants here. There's nothing I can do about it. I mean, I don't think going to 13 is correct here. They don't even have an arsenal for me to attack. They're going to go to 19, so if I block 3, I can go Dachi, Mounting Anger, which is going to be a pretty tough mask to stop here. So I'm going to go to 16, and they get to choose to banish the top card of their deck or not, which, like, is fine. So... like, I really don't want to give them that effect here, but, like, it is what it is. Oh, the puppetry gives that go again. Dude, that's so bad. Like, this is how Vincent, like, really gets ahead of you and, like, does this kind of stuff to you. Like, and again, like, I can't just... I mean, I guess I could. I think I need to go to 8 here. Like, and try to put pressure on. Null is playing this very well. Null is playing this very well. I really just hope he doesn't have a D-react here. Like, Null has, like, found a way to throw an attack at us every single turn, except for the turn that we had the Warmonger's Diplomacy on turn 0. Also, I really like to see another Warmonger's Diplomacy. Like, that's a card that'll really buy us a lot of turn in this matchup, so I'm a big fan of, like, running into that card whenever I can. It does a lot for us in this matchup. Running through the daylight. Alright, 4 on hit mask. So this is a breakpoint, and you give up a block card here, so I feel pretty good about the situation that we're in now. Problem is, we're still down. Like, we're still down, like, life right now. Like, we're down 9 life to a deck that, like, hits pretty heavy when it gets a good turn going. Null has played this very well. Null has played this game very well. Banish the Bounding Demagon. Is this play a non-attack action and then come in for like 5 or 4 and 1 arcane here? Now they're going to Scepter us. So if I go to 7, I can go Brand, Dachi Brand, Phoenix Flame for free, and then play Censor here, which I think is pretty good. I mean, I like hate giving them the rune chant here, but I think we're just in a pretty good spot. Like, we can start trying to like really apply pressure here. Is not going mounting, pick up the Phoenix Flame, give it plus 1 more damage. So it is 1 more damage. It is 4, 8, and 10 versus the 1, 4, and 4 is 9. But I like the play that I made because we're forcing a breakpoint card on Chainlink 3. It is technically a better play, but we forced them to give us the Spellbound Creepers there. And with the second line that we took there, they would have given us it would have been a mass kit, and they'd just given us 1 card from hand, and they'd still have Spellbound Creepers. And I wanted them to give me the Spellbound Creepers there, or 2 cards from hand. So it felt like a more productive line, even though technically it was less damage. If that makes any sense, Riku. Now again, I'm not sitting here saying that. Where's the no problem? Can I undo? Gotta go. Be right back. I guess I'm just gonna put out. Okay. Y'all saw that, right? Like, it said okay on my chatting list, but then it says no problem. That was really weird. Riku, I'm definitely not saying that like the line that I took was the most correct. Like, definitely not saying that like what I did was indefinitely correct. You could be more correct here than me in this spot. I'm just giving you like my train of thought and where I was at mentally and why I made the decision that I made. Oh man. Okay, so he blocks 3. Takes the Kadachi. We're going to throw Brand for 3. We'll see if we get a block here. Null is blocked very patiently. Very strategically and very patiently here. Yeah, nah. Just thinking of other lines and asking why not basically, no worries. Okay, gotcha. No. I appreciate you pointing out other lines, man. Absolutely. I appreciate it always. And if it ever seems like I'm like being argumentative or something, please please don't take it that way. That is never what I'm never actually trying to be argumentative, so I apologize if it ever comes across that way. This is actually insanely good for us here. Because now they can't do anything. They can't play the Bounty Demagon without playing a non-attack action, and they can't play the Widespread Destruction because we're going to name it, which means we're going to get a whole other turn here. I mean, I guess technically, like, that it is called Widespread Destruction, right? Yep. Okay. It could technically be, like, they could banish an attack action here. Wow, why do we keep drawing Artivores like this? It's very unfortunate. They had the Deathly Well. That is extremely unfortunate. What is this, 4 rune chance? Go to 4. Go to 3. If I block 5 and go to 1, we can try to make a big turn happen here. And they're going to have 1 rune chant after this. I think this is the correct play. I think I just have to pressure my opponent enough to get like a lot of cards out of their hand. Zach never argues. Listen, I only like to argue with Alexander. I thought that was clear at this point in time. That I would argue with Alexander just to argue with Alexander. We're going to go buff and banish here, and we're going to hope that we get there. That is really not good for us here at all. Okay, so let's do the math here before I actually just like kill myself on accident. So technically, I can come in for 3, use Tide Flippers, activate 5, come in for 2, and then come in for 5. So I have 10 points right here. They have 4 points to give, which means they have to block 5 of it. And if they give us 2/2 blocks, they have to give us 2 cards, right? Unless one of them is a reduced to Rune Chant. The alternative option here is that I throw Snatch and then pass. I do not think that wins the game. I do not think throwing Snatch and passing wins the game here. I think we have to go for this play, even though I'm leaving myself dead to 0 Arcane Barrier here, if they can create a second Rune Chant and attack. There might not be a winning line for us at this point in time, but we have to try something. Our opponent does not have to block this. They can technically say no blocks here and go to 2. And then when we come in with the Phoenix Flame, Null can actually say no blocks again, or only block with a Tunic here if he wants, go to 1. And then at that point in time, when we come in for 5, they would actually, Null would be forced to give us 2 cards from his hand, leaving him with 1 card. And with me at 2, if the 1 card he banishes is something that he can attack with off of 2 Rune Chants, which is not very likely. It's the Widespread Ruin card, the Ruin card, and the not Deathly Will, the Phantom Wraith. So the only two power, the 2. I'm sure he's just thinking. Like, I was like, I'm sure Null's just thinking. I just want to make sure that something happened and like Null didn't lag out or something. I was like, Null's pretty good about playing our games to completion there. I'm going to go ahead and start like filling out the parts of my log here that I can. Kadachify. I'm going to put that we're playing against Null because I know Null hangs out in the chat and it's like he's a very good player, so I like to log that we're playing against him. He's playing Vincent and we decided to go first because we had the option. And it's looking like an L, but we're going to play it out and see if maybe we get a little bit lucky off of a hit here. So we give the Tide Flippers, which I think we have to do. Activate 5 for 1. Come in for 2. We had to spend our resource there. Now, it'd be cool if we could, like, use Kodachis here in some way, but, like, we just drew 2 Artivores in the same hand, which is very unfortunate. It's also unfortunate that we have 2 Artivores in the same hand. I have to say, Null has done an impeccable job of leaving that in his leaving the widespread destruction in his banish zone the entire game, so that he can actually so that he can just threaten my arsenal with it. I have played without an arsenal all game because of the threat of that card. Which there might be something to go back. There probably is a turn where I should go back and look and say, you know what, like I needed to do something here. And doing like I needed to arsenal something here, and not arsenaling is incorrect. This will be a good moment for me to go back and watch tomorrow while I'm working in the morning. I can listen to the game and kind of like try to like pick up on spots. Because I mean I am working first and foremost, but working a half day tomorrow so we can go to Cincinnati. And Cincy, I'm gonna start calling a judge for my claim victories. I mean, dude, like at a certain point at competitive level play, you should be calling a judge. I know you're trolling right now, but you should be calling a judge at like time levels, because like it is considered a comp REL event. Do we just win? This costs 2, right? Like, we just win, right? If he throws the flail at me, he goes to 1. I go to 1 off the rune chant, and then I block with the mounting anger. And we're able to get out of this. I don't... Did he block? No, he blocked with a 3 block and a 2 block there. So I guess technically he could keep the Mauvrian Skies. But that... If he keeps the Mauvrian Skies, he actually wins, right? Is this a game I should have lost? If Null blocks 3, the snatch was for 5. No, he can't, because if he goes to 1, I see the problem now. Man, that was a good game, Null. That was a very close game. That was an extremely close game. Was there an opportunity there? I don't think there was. So if Null blocks with Widespread Ruin and Tunic, he goes to 1. Banishes to make a second rune chant. When he flails, he pays the life and it kills him before he can kill me with the 2 rune chants. He can't play the Bounty Demigod because he doesn't have a non-attack action to get rid of. And he can't play the Widespread Destruction because he doesn't have enough rune chants. So I don't think, considering the way that game worked out, I don't think there was a way for him to get out of it. But that was an extremely close game. Null, that was a good game, buddy. I thought you were going to win. I thought I got a little bit too risky with my life total. If you're hanging out in the chat tonight, I don't know if you are or not, but that was a really close game that I thought I was going to lose. You really made me sweat that one, man. You really made me sweat that one right there. So we got to win that game. Let's super close game. Squeaked it out using Tide Flippers for go again on Lava Burst to extend the turn. Yeah, that was a heck of a game. I hope Null, like, maybe Null swings by later or something like that. Oh, Null's here. Oh, okay. Lol, Null's here. I had no shot. Couldn't keep Mauve in hand for Demi XD. Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I was going through all of the math at the end of the game, trying to figure out if there was a way for you to stay in there. So the funny part, Null, is my hand was Artivore, Rising Resentment, and Lava Burst. And so at a certain point, like, I was looking at it and I was like, okay, I have to play the Artivore here and hope that I get lucky. And then when I drew Snatch and Lava Burst, and I was like, if I just throw the Snatch here, you, like, give me a card and basically do nothing. But if I throw the Lava Burst, use Tide Flippers, and get the Phoenix Flame, I have a chance to take all your cards out of your hand and put you in a bad enough spot to where Blood Deck kills you. It was a risk that I had to take there, but it ended up being a risk that won me the game. I think that was a perfect example of, like, I had to play a little bit more aggressive in hopes that it worked out for me, and you had just enough 2 blocks for it to matter for me. So that was a good game, though, man. That was a good game. Maybe if you could, all right, I missed some chat here. Sorry, guys. Maybe if you could Arsenal the Censor turn. So, yeah, Nathaniel, that's actually probably a good catch. I probably should have Arsenal in the Censor turn in case that I draw. In case I draw like an Artivore next turn. Stats, take 5, take 1 from the will. Close, though. Yeah, Riku, that was a really close game. Is he always dead there because of Kadachi's? Nuno, are you talking about, like, even if he doesn't die to his own blood debt? Because if he doesn't die to his own blood debt there, Nuno, hope I'm saying that correctly, then more than likely, because he has his Tunic, he's able to block a Kadachi with a Tunic, block a Kadachi with a card. So we only need to find 3 more chain links, which in Fi is, like, a very generally a very easy thing to do. So yeah, there were lots of ways that we were actually gonna win that game there. It was just like we put Null up against the wall a little bit too much there, I think, at the end. The Censor is the turn that flipped that for us. The Censor was the huge turn that really flipped that game for us. That was a really good game, and the Censor helped us right there. Null is a beast. Oh, dude, Drew, absolutely, man. Like Null is really good. I played against Null a lot. I've lost to Null a lot when he's playing decks online. Null's a really good player. Vin's definitely not my best, but I'm trying to get used to it. Well, dude, you made it look like you were very like you made it look like you played a lot of Vincent right there during that game, man. So tip my hat to you if you're not used to Vincent, man. You made it look like you are definitely used to it. Thanks. Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely, Nuno. I'm happy to explain. I'm happy to explain anything that I do on stream. Absolutely. And sometimes I'll just look at you guys and say that I'm dumb and I make mistakes because sometimes that happens. You sided Emberblade and Azalea, right? Yes, sir. Anything that can give you a frailty, I bring in the Emberblade because 2 is better than 0. Absolutely. Yes, sir. Okay, I think I'm going to take like a little 2-minute break right here. I got to use the bathroom real quick, and when I come back, we'll be playing some more games. Thanks for hanging out tonight, guys. All right, short break and we're back here. Let's see. Appreciate the compliments. There's definitely some points I could have planned better. Then there's a lot of setting up, and I don't ever bother like that with Viserai / Stromai XD. Yeah, Vincent is definitely a lot of like on again, off again turns, and like there is a lot of setup that goes with him for sure. So that's one of the big reasons I've like never played a lot of Vincent is like I don't necessarily dislike the on again, off again turns. It's just like there is a lot of setting up, and like there's a lot of like it's a lot of patience to Vincent. Like Vincent's actually a lot better than people think, in my opinion. Like he's just people don't like spend the time to like really play a lot of games with him. And I think sometimes like I think if you're gonna play like probably what I would classify as like a tier 2 hero with Vincent, like tier 2 or tier 3, probably like you just have to get lucky with your D reacts and some stuff like that sometimes. So Vincent, new tier 1 hero. Oh dude. I'm already having to eat my words of tier 2 or tier 3 hero. What's up, Fab Chile? I hope Chile. I hope I'm saying that right. I know I said that 2 different ways. I'm gonna go with Chile. Like it's probably wrong, but I want to try Viserai, but I ain't got Creeper's money. Drew, I felt that, dude. I felt that. I felt that, dude. The funny part is I owned all of those cards when I first got into Flesh and Blood because one of the first decks. So my first deck that I ever built when I got into Flesh and Blood was actually Dash. That was the first hero I ever built. I built Dash and I played Dash, and I still have all of my Dash stuff because like Dash was my first hero. Like I really like Dash. And then the next hero that I bought was Chain. I bought into Chain. I knew nothing about Chain. All I knew is that everybody at my locals was like going, oh my gosh. Like Chain is broken, Chain's insane, like you need to be playing Chain. Chain is the best thing in the format right now. What nobody told me is that like new players like need to have a learning curve before they just start picking up Chain pieces, because Chain is an extremely powerful deck, but it also requires a lot of intelligence and a lot of thought. Now, sometimes you can just get lucky and like dredge your way through Chain, but like I think it's a deck that has a very high like skill ceiling, and I think that playing I think that like playing Chain is like a lot tougher. It is not pronounced as the vegetable. So is it Chile? It's with an E, like the E in end. End. Chile? Chile? Not Chile. End. Is it like Chile? Is that correct? Ew. That's more like it? Okay. I'm gonna make a mental note of that so I can remember that, like Chile. Fab Chile. I do my best to pronounce everybody's names that comes to the stream. Fortunately sometimes I'm a little uncultured. Not that that's anybody's fault other than my own, but I've tried to correct that as I've gotten older. I try to correct that so that I can be more understanding of other people's cultures, and and I've tried to be more cultured as I've gotten older. I'm still gonna block with the Censor here. And the crazy part is if he attacks with the Ashwing here, I think I'm just gonna pop it. Which is like kind of weird, but I think honestly the correct play. No, you got it. You're getting the E right. The chill is more like chill. Oh, so it's like Chile. I hope I'm I hope I'm doing this right. I feel like I'm butchering this. I appreciate you trying to walk me through it though, man. I appreciate it. Why does no one play Viserai anymore? Oh, dude, like wait, what? I mean, Viserai is just like, why did you pop Mitts there? You don't get an Ash from popping Mitts, dude. I don't think that's correct. How did they opt here? Put a card on the bottom. I just don't think Viserai is very good right now, man. I think Viserai like kind of gets eaten alive by like a lot of the decks in the format that are like Viserai just kind of gets like picked apart by the decks in the format. That like Warmonger's Diplomacy is a heck of a card, is like honestly like the short answer that I would say to you is why nobody plays Viserai. But I have seen a lot of people playing Viserai online lately, and like don't get me wrong, Viserai is not bad. You can show up to an event and like win games like as Viserai. Like I will never tell you that you won't win games playing Viserai, but no one has Warmongers in my LGS. Wow, that's a wild statement, Milkman. That's crazy. Oh, you got it perfect? Okay, let's go. Thank you, man. I appreciate you helping me pronounce that correctly. Should I take him to RTN because nobody has... Okay, so there's a sink below, which is perfectly fine. Because nobody has... Dude, it's crazy to me that nobody has Warmongers at your LGS, man. Why is that, dude? Is that because like nobody plays like Azalea there? Like, does nobody play Azalea at your LGS, Milkman? That's crazy, dude. Do it. Losing Rosetta kind of stinks too. Yeah, Viserai kind of like fell off ever since like Rosetta took a hit. That's like the short and sweet answer. Like I also think that's like a big reason is that like one of the big play lines was play Mauvrion Skies, pitch a blue to come in with Shrill the Skull form, and then from there it was like Rosetta Thorn. So Viserai is a fine armory / RTN deck. Just got to know how to play him. It sounds like Noel plays a lot of Viserai, like Runeblade style decks. So I mean, if he's saying it's good to go for an for an RTN, I would take his word for it. It does sound like you want the practice though, but to be fair, you have like a month and a half to get ready for that. So I can just take the 4 here, right? I mean, I think this is a perfectly fine time to block with Furnace. Like, I wish we had a popper here, but, you know. Kalori is a good one. So, do I want to go Kadachi into Kaloria, throw the Mounting Anger at them? And see what they do? I kind of don't hate that line of play because we're killing the Kaloria, and we're also, like, if I had a double strike here, I would just throw the Kadachis at them and then kind of like try to punish them with the double strike text here. But I think this is an okay line because we're forcing them to have a breakpoint block here when we are ahead on life, which I really like because they can't just have their Furnace block. They've already used Mitts, in my opinion, incorrectly, but I don't know. And then they don't want to block with Furnace here, so they have to give us 2 cards or have a sink. And they could just give us 2 cards here. Giving us 2 cards like this, I'm going to Arsenal the Ronin Renegade. Like, I just want to Arsenal this, and like if we draw an Art of War, then we have a 5-card hand set up already, which is kind of nice. Now, we didn't draw an Art of War, but we did draw a very good hand. Yeah, I mean, we're taking 2 all day, like every day of the week and twice on Sunday here. Every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Our community is fairly new and most don't have the money. I mean, that's fair, Milkman. There's nothing wrong with not having the money for cards. I completely understand that and sympathize with that. Completely understand that. I play Azalea, haha. I'm actually taking down mental notes when you play her. I mean, dude, like I really look for a lot of Azalea games because I think it's like a harder, like it's one of the tougher matchups that I'm gonna face this weekend. So yeah, like if you're playing Azalea into Defy, like I feel like this is like not to brag or anything, but I feel like this is actually like a really good spot to like learn some about this side of the matchup so you can have a better understanding of how you feel about it this weekend. Like, yeah, I 100% think that's a good idea. I definitely play a lot of Viserai. Matter of fact, I just bought an Italian Viserai Marvel. Oh, dude, that's awesome. That's really cool, man. How much did you pay? No, I gotta know. I gotta know how much you paid for it, man. So let's draw off Mask. I mean, Warmongers is what I would call mediocre in my arsenal at best. I mean, like, it's fine against, like, against, like, Dromai. Like, it does stop them from, like, setting up a little bit. So, like, it does have a lot of value. But I think we're definitely just better off to to pitch it here and get rid of it. And if I wait too long to pitch it, then the value won't be there for me. I'm going to throw the other Rising Resentment here and then throw the Snatch. There could be an argument to just throw the Snatch and then Arsenal the Rising Resentment here because they're going to block it. But I actually really just want to, like, really pressure them here. I need a turn where I can get ahead, where I can get all the tempo going in my favor. We've got a lot of equipment block out of the way so far, so, like, this is a really good turn for us. This was a turn that we were looking for because we took every single card out of their hand and they have no presence on the board right now. And then, I mean, we have like a really good turn to follow it up with here. We're just going to go Dachi, Rabble, Censor. And then like we'll probably just name like Kyloria here, if I had to guess, is probably what we'll name, but stuff to say. Be a Chad and play Bolton. I've never played Bolton, honestly, or if you're talking about somebody else, I imagine you are. There's a lot of chat I've missed here. Seekers is kind of just a use of whenever you can to generate Ash. There's definitely a value to be made if you wait for an on-hit, but if you draw all dragons with no Ash, you pass. I mean, so that's true. No, like, but they already had the Ash generated from it. Them breaking it there did nothing for them. They had 2 resources floating, so like them doing it that way like gave them no value, which I don't think is the correct play. Hey, we're rabbling, boys. You love to see it. But yeah, no, I mean, like they didn't get any value out of it. They already had resources and Ash floating, so it didn't like gain them any value there. Funny thing is, after a year of Fab, our community is only starting to play CC next week, and we have an RTN in March. Oh wow, that is like, there's a lot of delay right there, I feel like. And as far as like actually like getting into like playing CC, like that's like a year's quite a long time. I wonder why there's such a delay. Do you know why, Milkman? Or is there just like Invoke Kyloria? I think Invoke Kyloria is the best name here. Like it's it's the scariest dragon they have. And honestly, like they can't add like a super dumb big dragon to the board here. Take 4 every single time here. Because my hand like does all the things I want it to do. I actually think this is okay because I'm going to add a Shuko trigger so I can block for 2 or I can add 2 points to the board here with this. So I think this is actually okay just to take 2 and just kind of go from there. So I'm buying through a friend in Europe. So I've paid $360 USD so far just to ship it to his house. Oh my gosh, dude, that's crazy. Drew said big dedicated. That's very accurate at that point in time. All right, we need to find the best way to try and kill the Asvali here. So Kadachi them, Bittering Thorns them, and see what they do. Because we could always go Phoenix Flame into Lava Vein on the Asvali. We just need to be pretty surgical this turn. So let's start by attacking them here. We get 1 point. We get 1 Kadachi here this turn based off what we want to do here. To be honest, to be fair, they're $580 minimum in the US. And then, yeah, I don't know about the Seeker's use. I did not know that they were $580. I'm not surprised because Marvels are like crazy expensive, but like that's still like, that's just like an unbelievable amount of money. Like when I hear people talking about this stuff, I'm like, dude, I'm like, you wouldn't catch me like dead, like paying that much for a card. Like I just like that's like unless it was like a Fabled that I knew I was gonna play. If it was a Fabled I knew I would play, like then yeah, I'd probably spend the money because I'm a pretty big fan of like spending money on like cards like that, like on Fableds. So I like that they were forced to give me 2 cards right there. I haven't seen many Dromais play Scar for Scar against me, so I'm kind of intrigued to see that. Okay, so now we're guaranteed Mask right here. So I'm going to throw Lava Vein Loyalty at the Asvali. I'm going to throw Blaze Headlong at them for 4. This is now our 3rd Draconic Chain Link. We're going to activate Phi, And then because of Shuko, we're going to be able to kill Asvali and draw a card here. So again, we have another turn where we completely took every card out of their hand, and we were able to kill their board. And now they also have 0 Ash. So, like, we're in a really good spot. What do we draw off Mask of Momentum? A great arsenal here. Like, just a great arsenal to set up with a 5-card hand. Now, admittedly, this hand is not great here. If I pitch, let's think about our best play here. Let's think about our best play here. You know, you want a Marvel Dash. I would probably consider buying a Marvel Dash sack. That's pretty accurate, honestly. The only reason I'm going in on it is I pulled a Marvel Kano out of a history pack, so I got an influx of $500 to use. I mean, hey man, that means you bought a Marvel Viserai for $80, dude. That's a good pull. I pulled one Fable Light of Soul, dude. That's cool, man. That's awesome. That's really cool that you opened a Fable Light of Soul. That's one of the Fables I'm missing, actually. I'm the only one playing CEC, and it's just on Talishar. I got you. Yeah. I mean, dude, like the money issue is a big thing. Like, I get that. Like, it's tough to like always be okay spending the money. So if I pitch Lava Burst to play Bittering Thorns, and it hits, I can just go Mounting Anger, or I can go E-Strike for 8. I'm sorry. I guess we'll do this now because we've given this information away. I wanted to keep that because it's a Draconic Chain Link that I would have an arsenal here, but I'm okay with just attacking for 4. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. So they drew a D-React here. That's only the second one they've seen, so we got at least 4 more to get through here. We got at least 4 more to get through here. I got the Warrior Clips and actually considering him. Bolton. I could talk about Bolton for hours, man. I love that hero. It definitely seems like Bolton is your favorite hero, Drew. It definitely seems that way, brother. I have definitely thought that before. I don't want to put 2 Lava Bursts together, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go E-Strike, and I'm going to put the Bittering Thorns on bottom so that we're pitch stacking a little bit better. Like, I have 38 cards in my deck right now, and we're not even like sub 20 on either side of the board right now. So I think that pitch stacking a little bit is correct in this situation. Not because I think the game's going to go that long, but because it's always good in case the game does go that long. So they've seen 2 snatches, so I mean, I feel like I'm kind of safe to actually just like I mean, our hand is Dachi, Rabble, E-Strike, go again, putting the Soul Beat on the bottom, and then Lava Burst. So I'm actually just going to take 4. I'm okay to take 4 here. I think this is fine. Yo, Mason with the Hydrate. Let's go. We get a little bit of hydration going. Oh, they did have the Snatch. So 2 cards from hand or card in Furnace. Give Warmonger's in Furnace here. If we give Warmonger's in Furnace, then I'm able to go Dachi, Rabble into Lava Burst. Arsenal the E-Strike. E-Strike gives me an answer to like some of their better cards that they can draw into, so I mean, that's not bad. I think this is fine. I don't want to give them an Arsenal. They have 3 D-Reacts they could draw into, or some pretty good Dragons. It's also worth noting that our opponent is like playing with 0 Ash right now, which is like a pretty fast and loose game to play as a Dromai player, in my opinion. They could be new to the deck. They could be on something I ain't aware of. I don't know. Like, there could be a lot of things here. We just drew 2 blues, so pretty unlikely there's a blue on top. But I've said that a lot of times, and then Talishar has just like been like, my guy. All right, breakpoint. Yes, let's go. We're rabbling, dude. We're rabbling like crazy tonight. For anybody who wasn't here earlier, Trent came up with the saying that when it's red, we're rabbling. When it's yellow, we're yabbling. And when it's blue, we're babbling. That's also how I'm going to be keeping my counters this weekend, as far as how my rabbles go this weekend at Cincinnati. So I think it's pretty funny. And I'm I think it's like really funny that Trent came up with that. I actually really like that. Coming in for 5 here is really good. We're 3-0 tonight. Yes, sir, Robert. We I can't remember what all we played. Vincent last round. We played a Bravo round 1, maybe. Oh, this hand is not good at all. Let's see. Yeah, round 1. Round 1 we played Bravo. Then we played into a KO, and then we just played into Vincent last round. And right now we're playing into right now we're running it into a Dromai. Known Rabbler? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. See, you love to see that. Kyloria would have been a great play right there for them, but they couldn't play it because of the way their hand was set up. So, am I going Brand, then play Art of War, pitching Art of War? Like, this is an interesting thing. Like, Brand? We could Brand and then play the Art of War, banish the Lava Burst. I could go Brand, Kadachi pitching the Lava Burst, pitch this Art of War for Kadachi. Let's go for the big turn here. We still have E-Strike to draw a card if we need to. Let's go for the big turn here. I think this is okay. I think this is okay for us. So we'll pitch Art of War. We'll go buff and banish here. Not a huge fan. Like I've seen 2 art. This is the 3rd time we've seen 2 Art of Wars in the same hand tonight. Oh yeah, you love to see it. You love to see it. Let's come in for 2 here. I think this is pretty good to come in for 2 here. And when it's Gorgonian Tome, you're dabbling in the dark arts. Hey, I like that actually. I like that, dude. That's pretty good, Mason. I have never actually been able to hit Gorg Tome the few times I've played Briar, but like that's living that's living the high life right there, brother. Where you're able to when you're able to hit Gorg Tome off of Rabble, dude, you living on cloud 9 right there, fam. Chief called. That's it. That's it, dude. Second cycle equals homie. Yes, sir. I can't take credit for that. That was all Drew from another stream. Drew said I was going to let you have it, Trent, but I appreciate you, man. Dude, see, this is like, it's like real homie stuff right here going on. That's like, dude, that's okay. Well, one, Trent, it's awesome that you gave Drew credit for that. And Drew, it's awesome on your part that you were going to like just let Trent have that. Like, that's like, you guys are awesome. That's like really cool. So double strike for 3, which is pretty good. We're putting on a lot of pressure on our opponent here. Like they're just feels like they're really just falling behind really quickly here. We're going to activate 5 for free, come in for 2. We could go E-Strike draw card here if we wanted to, but I think hanging on to the E-Strike when we're this far ahead is the more correct play. A little bit of patience probably do us some good here. The only downfall is that we don't get to put Mask on the stack a second time potentially, so we're just kind of like letting our turn in there. But we were up like 5 or 6 points, and now we're up like 19 points, so that's pretty good. Kadachi, Brand, Brand, Kadachi, Phoenix Flame, Kadachi, pitching these 2 cards, and then we get to go 5 draw card, put Salta Wound on the bottom into Snatch. Or actually, it's probably just put Snatch on the bottom. We'll go draw card here, actually, and we can Snaps. And then we have the Salta Wound plus whatever we draw. So we're just going to see what they do here. Just going to see what they do. What a draw. I'm good to play soon, by the way. Okay, cool, man. Yeah, I'm in the Discord whenever. I'm just kind of hanging out, muted in the Discord whenever you want to play, man. So that you can just hop in. I've done it twice, and both were against Zach. The fact that you've done it twice against Zach, Mason, is hilarious, dude. That's like... That's absolutely amazing. Real has to recognize real. I love that. I absolutely love that. Game recognize game, fam. The Ashwings could be a little scary here if like our opponent wasn't at 4. If the game was 15-15, like, or like if they were at 11 even, I would just take the free draw here and kill all the Ashwings. But I think considering that we're up 1 card, and also that we're up like 11 life and our opponent's almost dead, I think we're okay to just send it at their face here and try to push as much damage as possible. Because every time they're blocking with a card from hand, not from... They don't have any equipment left to block with. Honestly, you know what? If they take the Kodachi here and go to 2, I'm going to throw the Phoenix Flame. I'm going to throw the Phoenix Flame at one of the Ashwings here. I'm giving up 2 points, but I'm gaining 3 here in theory because of the mask hit. We'll see what we draw into here. Immediately rewarded for a good decision right there. Immediately rewarded. So let's attack them. Because if we put them to 1 and then we have breakpoints the rest of the way, we're in a really good spot right here. All right, come on. Let's go Rablin. You love to see it. Oh, man. This is so good. This is so good right here. Okay, Fate Foreseen makes sense considering they passed on blocks. Our opponent's so dead right here. Our Salt the Wound is automatically for 6, which means it's just going to be lethal. So we're going to attack them, put this on the bottom. We're going to draw a card. And then we're going to snap. Because we knew the Blaze Headlong was on top, we can actually make this play. Yeah, they're just super dead here. It doesn't matter. Didn't really matter what they did. Our turn was just good enough right there. So the value that I got from a little bit of patience from killing the Ashwing to hit the mask hit was good. We gave up 2 points to add 4. So we went plus 2 points right there. Now, if I hit a blue, it's technically a neutral hit, but I still think it's correct in that spot. If we hit a blue off the Rabble, I mean, like if we draw the Rabble and then there's a blue on top, like we get a neutral hit right there, but I still think that's okay. I still think that's like an okay line of play right there. I think that's still the correct play. We're just supposed to take the mask hit there and clear the board a little bit and continue to try and push more damage right there. All right. Kadachify, Talishar, we played against. Dromai, we went second. We got the win. Art of War turn put us ahead on turn 8-ish. I'm going to put turn 8-ish. I'm going to put turn 7-ish because it probably wasn't that late, but it was pretty late into the game there. Like, cleared the board with Mask of Momentum, efficiency, and pushed damage when I could. All right. That was a pretty good game. I think I updated the record. Yep, got the record updated. We are currently 4-0 on the evening. Alexander said he'd be on in a little bit here, but he is not here yet. So yeah, Caleb, if you want to play one, dude, let's do it. Yeah, Alexander's not here yet, so let's run one, man. Against the old Prism. Ah. All right, so I'm gonna put Caleb only here, so that we can have it set up this way. I just saw Drew's message out of the corner of my eye because I was trying to set up this game. Oh, man. Time to make an Elton John parody. I'm Still Rabblin'. I'm Still Standing happens to be my favorite Elton John song. Like, literally my favorite song, like, by Elton John of all time. So I'm absolutely on board for that. I'm absolutely on board for that. That is a great idea. We make any changes since the last stream? So, Robert, actually what we did is the changes that I've made, I added in That All You Got to the sideboard, and I took out the Ancestral Empowerments. Oh, it's with the new cards. I'm sorry, Caleb. I wasn't thinking, buddy. It's with the new cards. I was not thinking. No, we're still doing public. We're doing open format. No restrictions here. All right, I just made the game again. Sorry about that. So yeah. So I added in. Do we want to go first or second against Prism? I think we want to go second. But yeah, I took out empowerments and added in that all you got because I think I was playing ancestral empowerments in my list to play into like Rhinar and Dash, were like the two big ones that we ran it into. But I think that I can just play CNC or Sink Below in those matchups. I'm probably looking at CNC, and then I like that all you got is Mirror Tech, which I think is a lot better here for me personally. So I think I just want to bring in the Command and Conquers. Like, if I just bring in the Command and Conquers, like, I can just try to race. I do know that I want Mask of the Pouncing Lynx here. Just left the stream, so I'm not stream sniping. Everybody's always so nice, dude, when they do this kind of stuff. I always appreciate it. So I heard Lupine Fiasco. I hope I'm saying that correctly. He by the way, if you guys have never checked him out, amazing 5-player. He has great content. You should check out his channel. He plays Mask of the Pouncing Lynx into Prism because it stops some kind of combo they have where they can like end your turn or something, and I don't know what it is. But I'm gonna like I've been told that if you leave this up, like they have to respect it because of this, and I don't know how accurate that is. Can anybody confirm in the chat if that's correct? I'm gonna play Lynx. I should definitely understand this better before I just go around talking about this stuff, but yeah. Rabble yell? What? What, Robert? Was I yelling? Carly says I yell quite regularly and I don't realize how loud I'm being. Definitely not going to say she's wrong by any means. Yeah, so it has something to do with Halo. Does anybody know about this? Like, I would like, honestly, Caleb's probably the person I would ask about this. Okay, did my man just play a Vendilion Click into me? My man's just out here with the Vendilion Click. I forgot this card existed. For anybody who doesn't play Magic, this is a 3-for-9 that just says look at your opponent's hand and then like take a card. We're just going to block 9 here. Like, this doesn't have go again, but I do like the Phantasmaclasm here, honestly. This was a card that a buddy of mine, Blake, played at PT France in his Prism list, and that was the OG Prism, though. We played that deck. We played the Mirror so much, it made me want to vomit. We played the Mirror so much. So we know that he has the Parable of Humility here, but like we wouldn't know this in a real game. So I'm just going to attack with the Kodachis and see what he does. See if he actually flashes it in here. No, he just lets the Wave of Reality hit. Okay. I actually really like that play. I remember buying the promo V-Clicks for like $100 each. Dude, so I never had the promos, but like I remember Vendilion Click was a crazy expensive card. For a while, it was like $20. Like, I mean, I guess it's not crazy expensive, but you get what I'm saying. I do remember the promos being outrageous. I had a friend who actually owned them when we played Magic together, and he talked about how outrageously expensive they were. It's crazy to think that like Vendilion Click was an amazing card in Magic for so long, and now I don't even know if it's played anymore. I watch Magic every now and again just because like I love TCGs and I love games. So I like to like watch some of like I watch the Pro Tour and I like watch Worlds and things like that, but I couldn't tell you what's going on in the meta. Before I streamed Flesh and Blood, I actually streamed Magic for like a year and a half, I think. Is he gonna flash in the Parable here? No. So, I mean, this is for 2, which is only going to get 1 card out of his hand here. I mean, I guess it's not. We're playing Mask of the Pouncing Lynx here. I'm definitely going to have to ask Caleb to explain the Halo Mask of the Pouncing Lynx thing to me. Honestly, I need to find Lupine's video. I need to rewatch it is what I need to do. Now you don't have any resources to pay for the footsteps. I mean, I would consider this, honestly, I think I have to throw the Snatch at him here. As much as I want to kill the Parable of Humility, I think I have to throw the Snatch at him here to get an Arsenal card. I don't think there's a world where I'm ever snapping. Just hoping our next turn is playable, because I'm taking a risk on arsenaling this card right here. So we're going to attack here for as much as we can. Like, we're not going to be able to do a lot of damage this turn. And Caleb's going to get to keep a couple of cards, which is not great for us, but that Parable's looking real good right now. Now, this is going to be for 1 because of Shuko. You good to jam the mirror after that game? Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'm in the Discord. I'm just kind of muted right now, but if after the game, if you want to hop in the Discord, then yeah, we can play for sure. Pitches a no block there. I think that makes a lot of sense. And now I'm going to throw Rising Resentment at throw Rising Resentment at Caleb here. And then I'm going to throw the blue Lava Vein Loyalty at him at the Parable here to get it off the board. We want to get this thing off the board. Okay, I mean, that's pretty good, but doesn't, like, he just takes 1 here, which is, like, already what this is just... I can attack with a 0 here, right? I was like, I haven't just completely flubbed this. I'm pretty sure I can just attack Parable here for 0, and it just kills it. That's what Spectra does. Yeah, that's what I thought. So we're going to Arsenal our Artivore here and hope that... yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. Phantasmaclasm for 9 here is looking really good. Vendilion Click that costs the same amount of resources but comes in for triple the damage. Crazy. Crazy. What did he take from me? Yeah, honestly, this hand's just good enough. We're just going to take 9 here. At some point, Caleb will have the Triumph here to use, but to be able to flip. And we got a Rabble on top. That's good because it means we got another Rabble coming right here. You love to see it. I'm going to take a chance here that he doesn't have the Arclight. He could flash in the Arclight right here, which would be really bad for us, but I don't think we really have a choice. I think at this point, we're just kind of hoping no Arclight, and we're trying to push as much damage as possible. And I think this is, like, exactly the style of hand that we were looking for. Like, this is super solid. Like, this is great. We don't get Phoenix Flame here, but, like, I think that's perfectly okay. We have so much damage we can push right here. Like, this turn is really good. We're going to go Rabble for 5 because I want to be able to throw Bittering Thorns. I keep thinking Mask is in my deck. And it's not. Oh, man. I was going to say I want to throw this here because it threatens Mask without us having to give up the Bittering Thorns, but I just don't have Mask in right now. So about the thing you were talking about earlier, I would think you would want Momentum because Prism has access to Figment of Justice and could just turn your Salted Wound face down and stop you from using it because Pouncing Link banishes and the Figment turned a banished card. Okay, so Mason, that's actually what I was just talking about. I said that I wanted Mask of the Pouncing Lynx so that I can leave it up at all times, so that when they try to go and turn something face down, that I have an answer to it. That's what somebody else who streams Fi was telling me, like they were talking about it in one of their videos. I don't know how accurate it is, but maybe he was saying you want momentum. Wow, this hand is not good at all. I think he was saying that he might have been saying that you want momentum because of that, but I think he was saying that you want to have Mask of the Pouncing Lynx so that they can't do that kind of stuff, so that they're forced to leave up Halo of Illumination, because the second they come off of the Halo of Illumination, you have your mask whenever you want it, pretty much. Which, again, like I don't know entirely, but I appreciate you telling me what it was that Prism can do. That helps me a lot. Okay, the fact that he said no blocks is terrifying here. What's the scariest thing he could do? Herald of Protection? Herald of Erudition gets blocked by a 3-block Infernus here. I mean, I guess Erudition's just like always the correct name, right? Like, this is probably just always the correct card to name in this spot. Plus, we can take a little bit of damage and give up some, like, board presence here if our next hand is good enough. And I mean, this hand, like, don't get me wrong, like, this hand is, like, pretty solid here. I don't like that this has go again, but it's only one. Erudition? Yeah, Riku, Erudition's probably always the best here. Either they're the one that makes you attack it. Oh, Arclight Sentinel? That actually, so they don't really play that during, he has the library, folks. He has the library, and I do not have yellow cards to get rid of it, which I probably never will, but yeah, so I mean, like, that is, yeah, like, Erudition's probably always the best name. Like, just probably always the best name right there. Like, more than likely, that's just always the case there. The fact that he has a 5-card hand, like, we could lose this game because of library. If we lose this game because of library, I'm going to cry myself to sleep tonight. Okay, so he has to give me a card here, at least. Or he's just going to go to 3. Or I guess he just technically... let's Kodachi the Arclight, pitching a Snatch here, because we don't want go-again cards. Or we want go-again cards. So this is a 6, right? There's no world where this isn't a 6. Okay, thank God for Phantasm. If you're asking how MOTPL works with Halo and Judgment, if you Mask of the Pouncing Lynx a card, fetch a card in the resolution step, he can Halo, grab Judgment, and flip the card you get from... Okay, gotcha. So Mike is answering the question that I was asking there. Okay, so that is honestly exactly what I wanted to know. This is really not that good. Thank you, Mike, for answering that question. I was like, Mason kind of hit on it on Twitch a little bit, but thank you. I appreciate you answering that question. That's actually like a big help for me. Because I have to leave up Mask of the Pouncing Lynx to force him to leave this up. So, but I guess now we can, like... So now I actually have a pretty good turn here, right? Where I can just go Bittering Thorns into Blaze Headlong. When either of them hit, we go get a double strike, as long as there's a double strike left in our deck. And then we get to throw the Lava Burst here. Yeah, I think that's like our best play. I want to play the Artivore here, but I think I'm actually just in a better spot to like play my hand out here and pitch the Artivore here. Look at this nerd reading books. Robert out here got jokes. All right, so we're gonna Lynx. Because he has to have Halo to do that. And Double Strike is just the best option here, right? I mean, technically, I guess it could be like Salt, but I really like Double Strike because we're forcing our opponent's hand here. And it allows us to get to the Lava Burst chain link here to be able to do what we want to do. I think this is the correct play here. All right, we put Calum to 1. Now we come in with Shuko. So he can't flip an Angel and block this. He actually has to block this because of Shuko. Blaze. He can flip an Angel here. Can he flip an Angel anytime he wants? Yeah, so he just has to banish a card and flip. Yep, and he's activating Prism, which it's a good line of play. This eats the 4. And then Lava Burst for 5. And he can't flip again, so he can't pay here. He can't pay here or here. Even if he blocks 3 here, we get him right here. Okay. I think that's a really bad matchup for Prism, honestly. Like, I haven't played against a lot of the new Prism, but, like, I think that if, like, I'm able to, if I'm able to, like, get ahead like that, I think it's very easy for me to keep the pressure up and just continue to apply pressure against Caleb and make it very hard for him to get back into the game. So, I think that's a pretty favored matchup for me. Kadachify, we played against Caleb. Caleb was on Prism. We went second. We got the win. Got ahead with 2 good hands early and kept the pressure up. Mask of the Pouncing Lynx bailed us out 1 turn. So I guess it didn't really like bail us out per se, more like just gave us the win. Like, we had a perfectly reasonable hand without it, I feel like. So, I don't know. Like, anyway, that was a good game, Caleb. I appreciate the game, man. I'm dog water, LOL. Dude, you're not... Take that back right now. Dude, you're not dog water. It's a hard matchup, dude. It's a hard matchup. It's a bad matchup, and I need more ninjas to play. Yeah, no, I agree. That's a hard matchup, man. That's tough to play into as Prism. Like, those, like, the ninja-style decks are the decks that punish you the most in those matchups, so... all right, so I guess we'll wait on Alexander to hop in. I don't see him in the Discord anywhere. So we're just kind of... He said he wanted to play after this, but haven't seen him yet, so... Alexander, you still want to play, buddy? I'm going to swap back here, and I'm gonna go over this at the end of the night to kind of like see where I'm at in total, because I've been playing games for a while now. So let's see. Keep going. That ain't the end of the list. Okay, so there's 78 games here. There's actually 77 because there's a blank where I swapped over to the That All You Got. So in 77 games, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so in 77 games, I have 15 losses on this deck. And that's counting every single game I've played except for the drunk stream. We ain't counting that garbage because no. That doesn't count. Which channel are you in? All right, I'm just gonna leave the Discord and call Alexander. Let's just do it this way. This will probably be easier than trying to get in the right Discord. Just make life a little bit easier. We have the technology. Let's make life simpler. So, oh hey, what's up, dude?
Not much.
So 77 games, and I have 15 losses. So I'm 62 and 15 across 77 games with this list. I mean,
That is pretty sick.
that's a pretty good number. All right, so classic constructed, private. Let's create a game. I'll shoot you the link in the call we're in.
Let's play what my current 80 is, and then I'll feel out whether I'm gonna put W pads in or not.
No, I mean that's fair. That's why I said like I don't know. I don't know if you have it in your list, and two, I don't know if like you like have room for it. So yeah. I've been testing with it. So let's play. Yeah, me going first. That's what I want.
Okay.
So we're gonna cut double strikes, bring in the sinks and the That All You Gots, and see if we can beat Alexander going first. Going first is definitely worse in the 5 matchup, but it's tough because I have no blocks sometimes. Yeah, Caleb, that does make it tough for you. Like some of Prism's cards not blocking definitely makes it hard for you. In the Ninja matchup especially. Alexander, say something for me real quick.
Hey.
Say like a sentence.
You're gonna lose.
All right, let's turn you up a little bit.
Say it again for the people in the back.
All right, say something again.
We're gonna have fun, guys. We're gonna
Okay.
have so much fun playing the 5 mirror.
All right, you're pretty close to. At least it looks like it on the bar. You're pretty close to my volume, so I'm gonna turn you up a little bit more. I always laugh with Nathaniel because I have him on 200% and the stream still can't hear him. Like he's just so quiet into his microphone.
So wild. Which is crazy because like I feel like remember when we did the pack one pick ones? And I used his microphone.
Yeah, no, I literally had to like turn him down when we did the pack one pick one stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean we can leak some damage here. So we should. What'd you say?
Said little does he know that I have Sigil of Solace in my hand.
I mean, if you have Sigil of Solace, then like honestly, if you played a Sigil of Solace against me, I'd be like, God, I'm about to get rolled, or this guy is a boob and has no idea what he's doing. Like those are the only like 2 trains of thought that I would have right there.
Yeah, 2 cards.
Yeah, 2 cards in hand.
I'm supposed to block you.
Okay, so give me a card. Come in for 1 with go again.
Yeah, you can have 1.
And then 2 because of Shuko. Yep. And then we'll
play Don't Have Snatch.
What'd you say?
Time to play Don't Have Snatch.
I mean, yeah. I was like, it's generally you can't play around all of it.
Oh wow.
Is your hand insane?
Not really.
Normally when you say oh wow, it's because your hand's garbage or because it's great, so that's pretty good.
I can't do that. Oh, that was a mistake. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
That's not how that works. We're gonna do this.
I just know there's a red on top of my deck, so. So this is more than likely going to be snap right here. Like, if not, I would be very surprised. More than likely means that Alexander has a Blaze Headlong that he doesn't have a way to start with. I don't really want to block 6 right here necessarily. I don't think I'm supposed to give up Furnace this early. Giving up Furnace this early is very scary. Maybe I'm just supposed to give Alexander a card here. Block later. Let's just say no blocks and play later. Like, I think this is correct based on like the way my hand is filled out here. That all you got still working? Yeah, Nathaniel, I still really like that all you got. I'm 5-2 into the mirror with it. Going first specifically. So
Wacky turn.
that is an interesting turn.
But sometimes
So if I block 6 there, I get immediately punished.
Life doesn't give you lemons, but it gives you the shells of peanuts.
I mean, hey, whatever works, right?
You have to figure out what you're supposed to do.
Oh, let's go. We're rabbling, even though not really, because that all you got's a good card.
I think you should throw your Kodachis.
Yeah, should I?
Yeah, definitely.
I'll pitch a red to come in with my Kodachis here. I won a game the other day where somebody played 2 this rounds on me against me and 2 Ardivores. Now, like,
Nice.
I just like, that's crazy to me. So this is more than likely a defense reaction if I had to guess. So I think we just pass. Could just be that Alexander says okay, like, and he'll just keep his cards here. But I don't think on a turn with this rounds on me, I don't think it's correct to snap here regardless, even if it is drawing 2 cards.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking about not using the deer react that I have.
I mean, if I were you, I probably wouldn't. Like, honestly, like, you're just losing a point on your D react.
The thing is, Sync is actually high value here.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if you're gonna filter your hand, then yeah, dude, like, yeah, go for it here. If that card says if right now your Sync Below says stop me from drawing 2 extra cards, then don't play it.
It's just like, or maybe I was supposed to just block through.
I mean, also possible you can just just
block
block 3.
Yeah, that's what I was supposed to do.
That is a legal play you could make.
Yeah, I'm supposed to just block 3.
You can just block 3. Okay, block with Salto Wound.
That's weird.
All right, so we're gonna set up a pretty good arsenal card here, and we're going to pass. I mean, I think we're taking 4 here. This hand's pretty good.
Now is when it sucks that I don't have snap. But I'm doing a 3-card 12, so I'm not going to too much. See how good my double draw is.
I was like, I'm honestly thinking about going to 24 and just giving you the cards here. I'm going to head out. Good games. Well, Caleb, thanks for the game, man. I appreciate it, brother. Hope you have a good evening, man. I mean, if I go to 24, like, you can't razor me because you don't have a resource. Which means I get to go Dachi, this, into this. So I get to pressure Mask at Chainlink at 4. And then I get to Arsenal a much better card there. I think this is a pretty reasonable play.
Oh, busted. I had action points.
No problem, you too. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, brother. All right, so Kodachi. Alexander is going to take almost every single time here. And then we have Bittering Thorns for 4. Alexander takes 4. And then we actually get to come in with Bittering Thorns for 5 here because the last one hit. So this is pretty cool. And the neat part about this is that if I was playing against somebody who had wax on as their tech, they couldn't even wax on this. I mean, they could just block 2, but wouldn't matter. So Alexander gives 5 here. I think that's a pretty reasonable block from him. And then let's throw our Rabble. Let's go. We're rabbling. We're rabbling, boys. You love to see it. We're going to go up 1 point. We took some equipment from Alexander, and we're going to arsenal a pretty solid card right here. Let's go ahead and take 3. I think we'll take the first 3 because this really has no on-hit effect, considering it's the first chain link here. If this were the second Draconic chain link, we could consider blocking 3 here just to try and stop maybe like something like this could be a good option. I mean, I think I'm just supposed to block 5 here. Like, I don't want to give Alexander an extra card. If he's playing Engulfing Flame Wave here, it's because, like, so the only whiffs he has here are CNCs. Like, 2 cost cards are the only whiffs he has here. If it's an attack action card with cost less than. Yeah, so I think blocking 5 here is actually just a really solid play. This feels like a pretty good use of Furnace here. He's going to come in for 1. I mean, I wish it was for 2. Just, like, ironically, I wish it was for 2 because we have that all you got, but beggars can't be choosers. I mean, that's fine. Kind of hoping to see a blue there. 5 cards and no blue. I mean, it makes our hand, like, very lackluster, honestly. I do like throwing Bittering Thorns here, though. Okay, so Alexander goes to 19, so now we're up a few points. We're going to play the Rabble. There's going to be a blue on top. I can feel it. No, there's not a blue on top. Interesting. Okay, Alexander gave us Furnace and D-React there. And he did filter. So we're up 2 points. We don't have any, like, real value off of playing our attack here other than just pushing damage. And I don't think that's a good decision at this point in the game. Like, we're playing a pretty fair game back and forth. Like, if Alexander has an Art of War hand here, then, like, it can't be, it can only be so good. So I think arsenaling the Ronin Renegade is actually the correct decision here. You don't know that's a Ronin Renegade. There are going to have to be times that you're going to have to pretend like you don't know the cards in my hand, Alexander. Just from the way I talk about it out loud.
Oh, this is so tough.
Your hand?
Yeah. A really tough hand.
Well, I'm curious to know what it is then.
We'll see.
I'm going to take 3 here. Again, this has no real on-hit effect here, so we'll just take 3.
Now is crunch.
Now what?
Now is crunch time.
I mean, we're getting to the point in the game where, like, there's not a whole lot of damage left to give here before, like, you're really starting to, like, block every turn.
Yeah, I gotta do it different.
Okay, that's fine. So you said you got to do it differently, but then you do the exact same thing?
Doesn't matter.
I'm going to assume you played a different one. Oh, you want to play the Art of War here. Okay.
I have to.
I mean, that's fair. There are hands like this. I get it. Definitely not saying you're wrong here, buddy. I understand. Oh, that's a feels bad moment.
That's not amazing.
Do you activate Furnace often in this deck? Death, I don't very often, but it does come up. It is something that it does work out. Alexander actually already activated Furnace one time this game in his deck, so it's not super common, but it does happen, Death. It's something that comes up. I think we're just going to take 4 here. This is, again, there's no mask. Like, there's nothing crazy to block here. Like, I think this is fine. Wow.
I have to admit, sensors are not feeling amazing right now.
Did you draw another one in your hand?
I drew the 2 out of 2 that are in the deck.
That sucks, dude.
But it happens.
So should I take the 4 points of value here, or should I keep it for Arsenal next turn? I think let's just take the 4 points of value here off of our D-React. I think it's fine. Yeah, like, having triple red with no snatch like that on an Artivore is really bad. Like, it's very unfortunate that you drew that way. I mean, so what were the sensors before you changed it?
Huh? They were
still 1 for 5 no go again cards, right? One of them was a Razor?
I think that the original list. I mean, the original list had them as Soaring Strikes, I think.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Honestly, I think I'm gonna go to 1 Soaring, 1 Sensor, 1 Take the Tempo.
Okay. Is there an argument for playing Tunic and trimming some blues? So, Death, it's funny that you asked that question because, like, a lot of people are playing 12 blues right now in their FI list. I personally think it's crazy. I'm playing 15. I don't know. Crowley's apologizing about something. Alexander's playing a very different list that plays 18, but the 15 I think is fine. There could be an argument for, like, cutting it, but like playing Tunic could be good in this matchup, but I honestly think that, like, the 3 block you get out of Furnace to stop on-hit effects is better than the resource that you gain off of Tunic.
Yeah, like, Furnace saved me 2 cards this game.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Tunic's 2 resources are almost never going to be equal to 2 whole cards.
So let's go buff and banish
if you
here.
Were to pick honestly, if you were to pick a different head, like a different chess piece in this matchup,
would it be the
Blossom of Spring?
Yeah. Blossom of Spring is also what I was thinking right there, just because of the value you get off of it.
Yeah, because it will usually net you. It will sometimes net you a card off Artivore.
Yeah. Okay, so Kadachi.
See how much better your 4-card Artivore.
So the 4-card Artivore is not a play that I'm a fan of. In fact, you will often hear me criticize. What'd you say?
I hate it too.
I mean, nobody who plays a lot of Flesh and Blood likes 4-card Artivore, but it happens sometimes. And I think in this matchup, there are situations where you have to play it sometimes.
This is 3rd chain link, right?
This is 3rd. Yes, correct. There are oftentimes you will hear me criticize people who play 4-card Artivore hands, but I do think there are times when you have to go for it. With Alexander and I both sub 20 in a super close game where I'm up with my snaps and my equipment, I think it's okay for me to go for a 4-card Artivore hand, because even if my hand is not great, now my hand was fine, like it wasn't anything insane, but like my hand is fine here. And even if my hand is like okay, I still have a pretty decent chance at doing something pretty good here and putting myself a little bit ahead. Now, this is for 5, so I'm going to use snaps. If Alexander has 2 reactions here, he has 2 reactions. It seems like he's wanting to keep his hand here. This is actually really good because this is for 4. Go on hit, go again, on hit mask. Drawing into that, that's the best soul beat strike I've ever drawn off the top.
Let's see. How do we play this differently?
I mean, if Alexander has Artivore, he could just like take 4 here. I don't think that's the correct play, but he could. He's probably better off. What'd you say?
I think I lose.
I mean, more than likely at this point in the game, but like, like more than likely based
I
off
think
of
I have to hope you're out of that draw. I think that's my only out. I'm way too low. And if this is a playable card, I lose. I'm basically saying draw bad or I concede.
Yeah, I mean, it's a card that forces a card from his, like, I guess he doesn't force a card from his hand, actually. He can just give me mask.
Basically, I needed to keep my hand to strip cards from you. Otherwise, I just lose to math, and I lost to math.
Okay, so 5-turn game, 15.25. So Alexander had the worst Art of War hand, like, significantly, even though mine was, like, fine.
So the math
his
on my
was
Art of
way
War turn,
worse.
by the way, was here what my choices were. I could either throw 8. Okay.
Okay.
Meaning I go 3 go again into Censor, Arsenal, Art of War. And an even life total, like 3 card 8 is just like not good enough.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
And then the other option was throw 13, but ditch Phoenix Flame and my Art of War. In other words, I can throw 13 with Censor, right? And make sure you can't play Art of War.
Right.
But the downside of that is that A, it's still not a very big turn. And B, I'm losing my Phoenix Flame for the next, like, on average 3 or 4 turns. Even though we're playing less of our hand, I'm still losing 3 turns of Phoenix Flame.
I mean, that's fair. And you have a deck
so
that, like, is really predicated upon playing Phoenix Flame. I feel like you get more value out of Phoenix Flame over the course of the game than I do.
I try to play it every time.
Super awkward hand, Art of War hand, and my Art of War followed was better. Close game until turn 5. Okay, so we win the first one.
I also had the earlier stretch of, like, my opening hand was super bad.
Yeah, no, I mean, like,
it was Snatch, Sink Below, CNC, Blue.
Let's go. Zach with the hydrate. Trying to make sure that we stay up. Appreciate you guys looking out for me. You know how it can be around here sometimes. I mean, this seems like a pretty good hand. We can set up. So the question is, do we Arsenal a starter or a finisher here? That's really the question we're going to ask ourselves. The card that we're going to Arsenal is also kind of indicative on how Alexander blocks this turn. We're going to see if he gives us a second Kadachi block or not. I'm kind of curious, honestly. Also, man, thanks for hopping on and playing the mirror with me some. I appreciate it.
Oh, for sure.
It was like, I definitely need the reps, like just to play in general. So this is potential mask, so let's throw the breakpoint here. Now, Alexander has 4 cards in hand, and I went first. So he's going to block this every single day of the week, but this is a multiple card block here, which I'm a fan of. And then I think we're just going to throw this and Arsenal our Chain Ender here. There might be some argument to leaving Alexander with 2 cards at this point. So we actually get 3 points of damage because Alexander wants to keep his cards, which I'm a big fan of. God, this hand is dog water.
You'll be able to get a little better.
I mean, it doesn't matter. This hand blocks. Like, just real talk.
That's good. So I took 3 points to play Trom, which I think is worth it.
I think that card is worth more than 3 points every single time.
Because
especially in the Kadachis.
Kadachis are just off. Yeah, they're just off. Turning off their whole weapon is so good. And I turn off your Phoenix Flame. It's like 3 chain links I don't have to care about.
I think we'll take 3 here.
3 points.
Yeah, no, it's definitely worth 3 points. Like you're turning off my weapons and the Phoenix Flame.
Well, that's interesting. Cards.
This is not great here. So we have a couple of options here, and I think it's important that we discuss all the options before we make a play. The most obvious play to me is pitch Snatch to play Mounting Anger, and then pitch Rabble for Censor. Those are the obvious plays here. Kodachi's do nothing, and we don't want to play our card from Arsenal. We want to give Alexander as little value as possible out of his card. Now, the other option that we have, and I'm also not a fan of this line, mostly because Trom's on the board, but we have Rabble. We have went 5 cards without a blue. More than likely, there's a blue on top of our deck. Like statistically, like blue on top of our deck. So if we lead on Rabble, we're more than likely coming in for 1. And then we no longer have the chance to play all of our cards here. And I think my hand efficiency is more important at this point in the game and trying to pitch stack a little bit. And also playing the Censor gives us an opportunity, if Alexander lets it hit, to just name Art of War. Depending on how many cards he keeps, if it hits, that's pretty much always what we'll name. Plus, pitch stacking a Rabble and a Snatch together is pretty good. Like, that's a pretty good second cycle hand. Not that this game ever gets to second cycle, but it's still important to note that it is a good second cycle hand if we ever need it for anything. So I'm going to go ahead and start logging in the game here. Running to the same time. So I could banish the Rabble here and try to get value out of it, but I don't think this is correct. I think it's better just to come in for 4. It's also worth noting that because we had to pitch, we could activate Furnace here to come in with Kodachi, but like, who cares? Like, Kodachi does nothing here, so... Alright, so he gave us Furnace and Shuko, so somebody's got an Art of War. This hand is so bad. I'm intrigued that Alexander's playing his Art of War first here. That's interesting. Tells me that his hand's not great.
Oh.
He must have drew into some good cards.
Do you like to gamble?
That's a stupid question. You know I love to gamble. What a silly... You're such a silly boy, Alexander. Are you saying that to me? I thought Carly was talking to me. She doesn't even know I exist in here. So, the risk that we're taking here if we block 5 is that he drew into another Art of War. Now, this hand sucks. So I think it's always correct for us to block 6 here. We may get punished later down the line here if he doesn't have another Art of War. Also, he could just arsenal his other Art of War if he wanted to. So, like, it's not exactly like we're just, like, getting him here by doing this, but I think that this is a better play. I think this is a safer play for us. We'll take 5, that's fine. We'll take the Ember Blade. So this is 5 on hit, do nothing, basically.
Well, I saw the wound.
I mean, I guess technically you get another look at an arsenal. So if I could just block 5, take the reset turn here. All right, don't start that nonsense.
I'm going to sell all your wins.
If I block 5, I'm just basically taking a reset here. And he has another 5-card hand, which is not good for me. I'm down 3, but I have 4 more points of equipment block that's worth it. So technically I'm up a point with a reset turn. I'm up 1 point in a matchup where if I draw a good hand, I could be in a very good spot. I think blocking 5 is fine here. Might be more correct for me to like come in for 4 here to take 2, go to 27. I also want to deny him the Arsenal target in case he does have an awkward blue card here. He doesn't want an Arsenal. Not likely, but it's always possible. Okay. I mean, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Snap, do that. 6, 7 chain links. This is a 7 chain link turn here. Like, this is a pretty good hand. This is a pretty, like, this is a pretty solid hand.
I think the hidden point is not worth risking playing an efficient turn.
I guess it depends on what your options are.
Right, this works.
So even though my hand is very good, Alexander's had back-to-back Art of War turns here, so we're probably just going to start blocking again. I'm going to do my best to not give him Mask this turn while keeping as much of my hand as possible. I mean, that definitely helps. Just like don't have empowerment here. I don't think Alexander plays empowerment, but I've played against a few fights who like to play empowerment in the mirror, and I don't really understand. Like it's a fine card and it helps in certain situations, but it's not all that in a bag of chips. So I mean, I blocked 2 and I'm going to 14. So your hand was 17 points. You basically had a 4-card hand that was worth 17 points. So that's an above average turn. Like not an above average Art of War turn by any stretch though. Just to clarify.
Well, it was 17 because it was only 4 cards. So it's probably about average for like a 4-card Art of War.
I mean, that's fair, I guess.
But in my defense, I didn't have a choice.
No, I mean, I get it. Like, so like the funny part is like you're like getting punished by using your snaps early, but I don't disagree with any of your decisions. Like every time you've thrown snaps, I like the decision to throw snaps there.
Yeah.
So like it's just one of those like weird things that comes up sometimes. Okay, 4 on hit mask. Now to be fair, this can be covered by furnace and card from hand. Okay, Alexander has D-react. That's also very good for him. So his last turn cycle was 21 points in total, which is like that's a pretty good 5-card hand. It's 6 points above rate.
I haven't seen a double strike yet. Which means I might be giving equipment to avoid getting mask hit here.
So let's come in for 5 here. The cool thing about this is that this looks like a turn ender, but I was like, but it's not. And like to a good player, I think they're very quick to realize this is not a turn ender.
Question is it the blowout salt?
Have I had Kadachi, Blaze, Kadachi? So it would be for 2 if I came in with it. I kind of like this play here. I get to activate this for free, and this is 2 on hit mask, which means if Alexander wants to give me his mask, I think I'm actually okay with that. Now, he might alternatively also be okay with that exchange because I am at 14. So the odds of him getting mask for the rest of the game are slim because my life is lower.
It's a tough play.
That's a tough decision to make. And then let's throw the sensor here. What'd you say, buddy?
If it was Snatch, then I get kind of going off.
Oh, really? So he has 3 cards in hand. He just gave us a Command and Conquer. What was the other card he blocked with? A Sink Below. So the best name here is probably just Snatch. This Round's on Me could actually be a really good name here. I think we're just going, like, well, we can block the Snatch with Furnace and a card here.
I've seen one of each, by the way.
Yeah, so I think we're going to go with This Round's on Me, because I think This Round's on Me has more potential value to blow me out here. Like, we've seen 2 Lava Bursts.
In the thing? You just, like...
So it pulls up a name a card, and then it says select, and I just type in what I'm looking for. We've seen 1 This Round's on Me and 1 Snatch. I think, and we've seen both the Salt of Wounds. I think we're just going to go with This Round's on Me. Normally, I would not name this card in the dark, but Alexander has already shown us one, and this is a card that has a lot of blowout potential against us, so I'm definitely going to be naming that here, and we're just going to pass. Some point later in time, Alexander, I'm probably going to ask Alexander to share after the game whether he has it here or not, but even if he does have it, he can still just pitch it to Emberblade, but if he kept it, he more than likely kept it to be able to play it. I think I'm going to take 3 here. He pitches the blue Snatch. One thing I really like about Alexander's list is the blue Snatch. I think playing the 18th blue just gives him option to the blue Snatch, which I'm actually a really big fan of.
So I made an interesting choice, and that was to throw this Command and Conquer, keep Masco in him, so that this Phoenix Flame had on hit.
Okay. We're gonna see if we can get some value out of that. All you got this turn. I don't dislike that play.
Yeah. And it sucks that you drew this, but theoretically, that buys a card or Furnace, and then you wouldn't have Furnace for this.
Right.
But you did.
So we get to deny Alexander that, and I mean,
holy crap!
Is your hand insane?
No, GG.
Okay, well, my hand's not that good, so
I don't think it matters. Respectfully.
I mean, fair enough. So this is a really weird hand. But we're down 9 points. Like, we're down 9 points right now. Like, I think the only real play we have this turn, I could just pitch the Rising Resentment, play my card, and banish the Lava Burst here to try and make a turn happen. But I don't think that's the correct play. The only way if Alexander didn't have the Snatch there, I was actually going to play my Art this turn, but because this hand is just like as mid as it is right here, I'm just going to come in for 5, and then I'm just going to Arsenal, and I'm going to hope that my 4 points of equipment block will get me out of this turn and allow me to set up and play a 5-card Art of War hand. Now, it's not likely, but we also could have like tried to make like a play there with the Phoenix Flame. I don't think we really could have done anything. Like, it was either play our 2-card hand for 5 points, which is hilariously below rate, or it was play the Art of War and try to make something happen.
Hilarious.
I mean, it is hilariously below rate. Like,
watch this.
So
the only time this card feels a little worse is when you draw it with 3 other reds, and all of those reds happen to not cost 0.
That sucks. I think I have to block 5 here. I think giving up a card to stop this card from hitting is worth. So Alexander can now go Emberblade into Phoenix Flame, which is actually kind of cool. And I get to keep my mask here. Like, Alexander had a hand that was not good, but was still worth 9 points. Like, all things considered, I think is really not that bad.
Yeah, the other one there was also like Founding Anger and to tank the tempo if I didn't have Furnace. But the Furnace line lets me technically threaten Mask, so it forces blocks either way. Yeah,
no, absolutely. You're also like with the Furnace, you're also throwing a card that like you're throwing 2 potential on hits right there. which I kind of like.
Just draw from board. So weird.
So let's go buff and banish.
Oh,
Like, we
no.
have to play our Art of War here and try to make something happen. Okay, so we're not going to banish anything, although admittedly our draws were very good here.
You still have Simplest in your list.
Yeah. Sinks and the that all you got. Why?
I was just curious because I hadn't seen a Simple. Maybe I think I saw it.
I played one last game, and it was at the very end of the game. So the brand here actually made our hand quite good. It allows us to come in with both Kodachis and push a breakpoint mask trigger here on Chainlink 3, which is really cool. So we get to go with Kodachi here. Alexander goes to 6. He's probably going to try and keep as many cards as he can here. Activate 5 for free. Now, we're going to play the E-Strike, but the question is, are we coming in for 6 or 8 here? So if we come in for 8, Alexander can block 3, keep 3 cards, and go to 1. If we come in for 6, he can block with just Furnace and keep his mask, which I don't like. So I think the correct play is just to come in for 8. I like the idea of having a potential arsenal here, but I think the value... I mean, there's a that all you got left and 3 Sync Belows left in our deck. Maybe we're supposed to draw here. I don't know. Like, we'll see. Like, I think it's correct to, like, get rid of both pieces of equipment here. We're just going to block 3, because if Alexander has the Art of War, we're just dead. I think it's correct to block there. So, this is an interesting decision point. It really depends on what his last card is, but I think it's correct for us to play that all you got there.
Oh, you drew it. That's so sucky.
And then I just have to give him this and go to 2 and hope we draw into something good here.
You have a blue.
What'd you say?
You have a blue.
I do, but now I'm debating if I even want to use the blue here. Because if I... Okay, so let's think about this. If your hand is blue and 0 for 3, which is like probably one of your best 2-card hands.
I strip 2 cards.
Yeah, you take 2 cards from me and I go to 1.
If he draws you 3 blocks. You draw 1 3 block or less, then you
This has the potential... This has the potential to take 3 cards out of Alexander's hand.
Yeah, you won.
Okay, so if you have the Sync Below there, it's better. It's better to go
You won
Kodachi's.
last turn, I think off the that I got the Art of War was off draw. But now you have 3 cards, and you haven't seen a double strike. Like the second you draw that card, I lose.
So going to 1 is correct here.
You definitely drew it.
I didn't draw
You're
double
drawing it
strike,
like this.
but
Dang, that's like I haven't seen it in either of the games.
oh, I take double strike out
Oh, okay.
for that. All you got?
Sorry, I'm having a stroke over here.
No, dude, you're good. You're good. I think I already clicked pass. Let's just refresh to make sure here. Yep, I did. So let's push a breakpoint here. Okay. Kodachi gets the last card out of Alexander's hand. He must have had no block.
I just had a 3 block, but it doesn't matter.
Okay, that's fair. So 14.57 over 8 turns.
Average was better there. I top decked Sync Below off the Art of War, which was really rough.
Yeah, that feels bad. That happened to me the other night when we were testing on Monday. That is a real feels bad moment. All right, so let's see. We got the win. What was the turning point of that game? Like, where did things shift in my favor that game? I mean, I drew all 3 of my that all you gots that
Wait.
game.
I played. Yeah, that was pretty big.
My 3 that
The sensor was really bad.
the sensor.
was very, very well timed. I had to ditch a card on my Arbor turn. On the first Arbor turn, rather.
Oh, gotcha.
The first Arbor turn was a card short because of the sensor.
First sensor slowed
the
his
sensor probably
Art of
would've
War
played
turn.
39 points.
Okay. So I'm trying to make notes on all of our games here so that I can have stuff to review tonight and in the morning before we take off. All right, let's do another quick rematch. All right. This hand might just
honestly,
be
after these games.
Yeah.
Feels like the sensors and take the tempo should just be soaring strikes.
I mean, it's very possible. Like, I feel like Soaring Strike's a great card, but you also have 6 copies of Snatch in your list, which makes it better for you, I think, personally.
Yeah. Like the snatches and the E-strikes, and then like the couple other blues.
So we can leak a couple points of damage here with Kodachis. Or I could just Arsenal and pass and try to set up for a big turn. Like, because the card that I'm going to Arsenal gives me a lot of value here. Let's just pass here.
Bad, it stays bad.
Like, we'll just take a chance that Alexander's hand's not great here. Now, Alexander's hand could just be, like, absolutely insane, but... Okay, so the fact that he's leading on 5 go again is pretty solid. It's a pretty good start for us.
So you don't get your awesome hand.
So... I think this is fine. Like, it sucks that we took 5 points to do this. But, what'd you say?
But I also don't get a 5 card. So.
I mean, so we block 6, and we get to attack for 5 here. So, like, it's only an 11.4 card hand. But we're still sitting on our power card in Arsenal, like, really, like, waiting to try and utilize it here. It's unfortunate that, like...
That does suck.
I would have had to
you
use snaps.
Use snaps for 3 points there.
I don't think so. Like, I'm not. Like, these are normally only like, you know, like somewhere between 4 and 6 turn games, but I'm not really a big fan of using it on turn like 2 or whatever.
For the take.
Okay, so we get the sink. We'll put this on the bottom, and we draw into what we want to see here. So now we're hoping to find... Now we're hoping to, like this is a good hand. We're really hoping to utilize our Arsenal card here in hopes that we can, like, really set up a pretty explosive hand here. It also depends on what Alexander's hand looks like. Yeah, we'll take 3 here every time. I think that's perfectly okay. Hopefully it's not another Command and Conquer. All right, well, that tells me it's not Command and Conquer, at least. So let's just get let's get the value out of our that all you got. I really wish that we were utilizing it attacking like that being 2. Okay, so now we have a real interesting decision to make. Jesus, what a name. I like that name, dude. What's up, man? How are you, buddy? You doing all right this evening? So Alexander has a 5-card hand, which we're currently down 3 points and equipment, which is not good because it really means that we're down 5 points instead of 3. So I could play my 4-card hand here and, like, try to make some real value out of this hand, which could be good. I could also just play the 3-card hand and then try to set up for a bigger turn. I honestly don't know what the more correct play is here. I think I'm going to go with the more patient play because I think the more patient play gives me a better chance. Like, I think it gives me a better chance at, like, trying to swing full tempo in my favor, but I don't know. It really depends. Let's come in for 3 here on Hit Mask. Indeed. Just checking to see if Fab streams and happened to see your title. Oh, dude, absolutely, man. Well, I appreciate you stopping by, brother. I was like, yeah, I stream Flesh and Blood normally 3 or 4 days a week, with a little bit of like Fortnite and Call of Duty and stuff mixed in, trying to mix it up a little bit. But yeah, I stream Flesh and Blood 3 or 4 days a week. I've been playing since like early 2022, and I have been in love with Flesh and Blood ever since, man. So I appreciate you coming by and hanging out, man. I hope I don't make the game look too bad. Sometimes I make some mistakes, but I think that's part of learning. So
Don't listen. He's flawless.
listen at Alexander hyping me up over there. That's just so that if we play in Cincinnati this weekend, he can destroy me. You playing in Cincy this weekend? Yes, sir. I am playing in Cincinnati this weekend. We are heading out a little bit after lunch tomorrow to head that way. You playing in Cincinnati this weekend, Jesus? So interesting choice here.
His name is definitely pronounced Jesus.
I mean, it could be.
Wrong.
You're right. It could be.
Jeez.
Like G.
Maybe not.
Oh, G's. Like Jesus.
Yeah, like Jesus.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. That is how you would say that. Yeah, he's correcting me, Jesus. Like you pronounce it, Jesus. Absolutely correcting me here.
On Hit Mask.
So this is a power hand for us. I think we have to give him Mask here and hope that our turn's better. I will be there Saturday, actually. Oh, dude, that's awesome. What are you playing? I take it you're playing in the Battle Harden if you're going to be there Saturday. I'm looking forward to playing this weekend. I haven't played in a comp level event since ProQuest season, so I'm actually really excited. I am very excited. What do you?
One of the 1-for-5s has not felt like a freaking shot in the foot.
Wow, this was a really good turn considering he did not have Art of War here. Again, we've committed to this line. I think we have to say no blocks here. Oh man, that's so good. Take the tempo's looking insane.
Holy crap. Okay, now it's got to stay in the deck, right?
I mean, that definitely that card just bought itself a lot of real estate right there. I can say that for sure. I better see you on stream in Cincy. Robert, I will do my best to get on stream. I would love to be on stream, honestly. It'd be a lot of fun. I've been playing like a couple of months, nothing real competitive, but wanted to YOLO it, playing Arachne. Dude, that's awesome, man. Well, dude, if you've been playing a couple months, welcome to Flesh and Blood, brother. I hope you enjoy it as much as I have. I have been enjoying Flesh and Blood a whole bunch ever since I started playing. So let's go buff and banish here.
You deal 29.
What just happened? Oh, there we go. What is happening? Did it not take my Art of War play? Buff and banish. We have 2 check marks. All right. Game keeps telling me I'm like reverting the game state, and maybe it's because I'm clicking the spacebar. I don't know. The question is, do we just go for it again? Are we just that crazy? I think, dude, why is it doing this? I am picking 2 modes. There are 2 check marks there, game.
Yo, why is it coming in for 6 now?
Because I have 2 Art of Wars.
Oh, you played 2 of them.
Yep.
I just saw you banish Brand both times, and I was like, wait a second. Oh my word.
So this would be for 5
Buddy.
if we banish this. I think it's better to banish this.
Might actually threaten lethal.
No, the draws weren't that good.
Oh, thank God.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Don't
Don't get me wrong. They were solid, but like they weren't that good. Oh, let's see. I missed some chat. Sorry, guys. No stream this weekend. At least not for me. Oh, man, Sant, you're not streaming the event this weekend, dude? I was like, dude, I like anytime you have an event up, man, I really like the coverage you do. You guys do you do a lot of really good coverage, man. I always like really enjoy like watching the streams that you guys put together. I feel like you all do a really good job.
I really liked that one time there was an event, I don't remember which event it was, but instead of doing live coverage, he did like covers over all of the games with like high level players.
Oh, where they went back and like re-recorded it?
I think it was
a Battle Harden or something. It was like one of the funnest things. It was one of the funnest things I've watched for sure. Like that was
I recorded all the top 8.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and it was a lot of fun to watch that. Absolutely.
There's especially an Missouri Oldham matchup.
There was an ad. Don't know if you said anything. Oh, dude, sorry. The Twitch ads, man. I try to like not talk when the Twitch ads are rolling, but sometimes I miss them. I've been trying to be better about rolling them in between games. Sorry about that, man. I was just saying like, welcome to Flesh and Blood, Jesus. Man, that sounds so weird to say out loud. But I was just saying like, welcome. I was just saying welcome to Flesh and Blood, man. That like, you know, I've fallen in love with the game, and that I hope you enjoy it as much as I have. It's been a heck of a lot of fun for me personally. So this is for 5. I think we send this for 5 here, honestly. And if Alexander wants to block with 2 cards, so
they're just gonna use snaps. I never block with 2 cards here.
No, exactly. You know I have the Lava Burst here, and then this is going to be for 8. So we didn't do lethal, but we did quite a bit here. We put Alexander all the way down to 9. Now the only problem is that he has a 6-card hand.
Most importantly, you did not have a sensor.
I would have loved to have had a sensor right there. Lava Vein in this. Ugh. Glad to hear you'll be in Cincinnati. I'll be there myself. Oh, Doug, that's awesome, man. Dude, be sure to come say hi, man. If you run into me this weekend. One of the problems is that I don't know everybody's faces, so I don't always know who I'm talking to. But dude, if you run into me this weekend, man, come say hi. I'd love to meet you. I was hoping to watch something this weekend. I think everybody was hoping to watch some coverage this weekend. Robert, I think everybody really likes. I mean, I've never heard anybody say anything bad about like the Savage Beats. I think that's what it's called. I think that's what their group is called. But I don't think I've ever heard anybody say anything bad about that. So, oh man.
I think I won.
Oh, man, said it was Battle Hardened Richmond. He said it was Battle Hardened Richmond that they did that event for.
It was Richmond.
Yeah.
That was a fun battle.
It was really cool. I actually remember like really enjoying the coverage of that. Like it was really good coverage. Like the whole like re-recording everything was really cool. I've been playing it a lot. Not a whole lot of people play at my LGS. Oh, dude, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I hate that like, you know, you've been like trying to get into the game and play, and like there's not a lot of like, you know, local events for you to go to, man. I hate to hear that. That definitely makes more sense why you're coming to Cincinnati when you just got into the game, dude. But that's awesome, man. This will be a good weekend to like really like see the game and like get a better experience of what it looks like at a higher level. And like I don't know if you've ever played other TCGs or anything, but like you really get an experience that at least I have so far with the game, that everybody is just super nice. Like everybody is great. At like even at like these high level events, all the people you'll play against are super nice. I think we have to block 5.
Already knows.
I'm saying I think we have to block 5 with equipment. That wasn't a complete thought. If Alexander has a second Art of War right here, I cry myself to sleep. If Alexander has a second Art of War right here, we probably just pick our cards up and go get a hot dog. Probably what I'm doing on Saturday if he does this to me. That makes me feel better hearing that, because I don't know what I'm doing at an actual tournament, LOL. No, dude, it's like, and there's nothing wrong with like being honest with people, being like, hey, you know, like I'm new to the game, like I'm still learning, you know, like, and I'm sure your opponents will be super understanding to that, like to that point of view, and the fact that like you need that like you might make some like mistakes or something like that. Like I think people are pretty understanding to that. I mean, I guess we just have to go to 3. I think we've lost this game. Like depending on what Alexander's last 2 cards are early, obviously, but like this does not feel like a winning game for us.
You're losing like your soul here.
Oh, am I just dead?
I don't know if you're dead.
Well, I guess we're about to
I would
find
do it
out,
like
huh?
this to try and kill you.
No, I just straight can't go. It's an 8-hour drive, and I'm hosting a friend this weekend. That's cool. You getting to have your friend in town, though, Vincent. That's fun, though. That's like, I mean, I get it. Like, you'd rather be playing Flesh and Blood or like hanging out like in that area. I do understand that. But it's still good that like, still good. You'll get to have your friend in town. So, couple of options here. We can block 5 with Bittering Thorns and Soul Bead Strike. He's gonna snap regardless. We can block 5 with E-Strike and Bittering Thorns, Dachi, and then Arsenal the Art of War. Honestly, if he snaps, we're just gonna have to block with our last card here.
You have an Art of War in hand?
I do.
Oh, you're dead.
You have something that attacks for 6?
I think it's more than 6.
That is 7. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was some debate to me playing the Art of War defensively, but I don't think that's a winning line.
Return was pretty great that turn.
No, yeah. That was a really good turn. I mean, I had a really good turn, but my really good turn had to put me back into the game. I was like, and your really good turn following mine put you ahead again. So yeah, I had an AVPT of 19.67 and still lost that game. That's absolutely crazy.
Oh my word, mine was 18.5. Is it because of the CNC? I think it's because of the CNC.
It could be, yeah. It definitely could be because of the CNC. All right, so let's log the game here against Alexander, playing Fi. We went first. We lost that game.
I just like delayed your big turn by like 2 turns.
Yeah. My Art of War turn was a catch-up turn. Went up around 7 points. And his Art of War turn following mine was for...
Just killed you from 17, right?
Yeah, I mean, you killed me from 17, and I blocked 14. So it was 31 points.
32 because you went to -1.
Was for 32 points. All right, well, that's good to know. That's good to have that line of text in there, the notes there about that. All right, let's, are you wanting to change who goes first, or?
Oh, I didn't mean to.
Let's try one game with me going second, because I got time for one more before I need to call tonight.
Okay.
So let's try one with me going second, because I've been going first. And how many games have we played? That was our 3rd game. So I'm 2-1 going first. With that, all you got's in the deck?
You're going first. I want to try this because I haven't tested this first.
Well, no, I'm going second.
Or sorry. Yes.
I think we're still going to board the same way. I think that all you got in Sync Belows are just too valuable in this matchup. And we're just going to try going second and see like if we can just like try using second to get super ahead and gain a lot of tempo here. I think that is like...
Okay.
Well, we'll take one here. We'll take one off the Rising Resentment. That's perfectly fine.
Whoops. I don't want to do that. Oh, wait. Sorry. I forget how that card works.
Okay. So
we're going to... for the choose and banish cards are so annoying.
Oh, like when they're like totally irrelevant?
Yeah.
I understand. We'll block 3 here. Alexander's running Emberblade instead of Kodachi, so we want to make sure that we're blocking efficiently if we can here.
This round's on me on turn 0.
What'd you say?
Sadly, no, this round's on me on turn 0.
I mean, this round's on me on turn 0 would be absolutely insane. We're just going to block with the E-Strike here. Like, this is fine. I don't think Alexander's ever going to snap there, but you love to see it. Dude, Jesus, thank you for the follow on Twitch, man. I appreciate you hanging out tonight. All right, there are 3 questions we ask everybody if you subscribe on YouTube or if you follow on Twitch. What's your name? Which, like, what's your real life name? Because I want to know who I'm hanging out with. What got you into Flesh and Blood? And what's your favorite hot dog topping? That is a question courtesy of Drew. He loves hot dogs, so we often ask the question about.
Ask a question?
Within appropriate reason.
Okay. Would he rather unlimited bacon
Oh God.
but no games, or unlimited games but no games?
I despise this trolley question that Alexander harasses everybody on my stream with. Oh
Hey,
man.
hey. Let's tell it how it is. I harass everybody.
That's true. I mean,
and on your stream.
that is true. You do harass everybody. I will give you
With
that.
this question, that's an important.
All right, so we had 4 go again. Now we got 5 go again because that hit. And we're just going to pass an Arsenal our last card.
I love this card so much.
It's a very good card. So, 5-card hand with this in Art of War seems like this could be a blowout if I don't block 6 here. Let's see. Name's Tony. I sucked at MTG and Chili. So you got into Flesh and Blood because you sucked at Magic? Well, one, I'm sure you didn't suck at Magic. Let's just clarify. I'm sure you didn't. I'm sure you're being hard on yourself. But I also come from Magic, so I completely understand. I think if you're like me, man, you'll enjoy Flesh and Blood a lot more than you do Magic. At least I have. We're just gonna block 6 here. Our hand is like fine, but it's not like it's early enough to where we can arsenal this card and try to set up for like a very explosive hand. Man, if Mansant's not doing coverage this weekend, is there gonna be any coverage? Probably not.
You have a 2-card hand?
I have 2 cards in hand.
Okay.
I do indeed have 2 cards in hand, sir. Okay, so he pitches the Phoenix Flame. Since Alexander's going first, I bet he put the Phoenix Flame in, but he didn't have it last time.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. Since I went first, I basically went like way more hard aggro. I think I still put the Sync Belows in. At least I meant to.
I mean, I think it's better. I'm a lot better at Fab than Magic, LMAO. Dude, for whatever reason, I feel that, though. That's like samesies, fam. Samesies. The Sync Below was really good there. But yeah, like I think
Holy.
I think there's a lot more intangible things you have to consider in Magic than there is in Flesh and Blood. And so, like, if you're somebody who really enjoys numbers, like Alexander, then Flesh and Blood is definitely a better game for you because there's less intangibles to cover. Which, I mean, it makes a lot of sense to me, in my opinion. SCG doesn't pay a dime, so I doubt there's other coverage. SF can only swing it if sponsors line up, but even if it's just a phone and tripod, that's a good effort. I mean, that's fair. I know that, like, I don't. Like I know that Star City Games used to have like a lot of like big coverage for like Magic tournaments back in the day, but I haven't really seen anything from them as far as like Flesh and Blood coverage goes. So I mean, I believe you that Star City Games like won't pay. That makes a lot of sense. That seems right up their alley. I think we're okay to just take 3 here and see what Alexander does on Chain Link 3. So this is for 4. This is actually great for us because we don't have to give up equipment here. We're not going to sync because our hand's really good. I was originally very unhappy with the sync right there because of the downside value we can get out of it, but I think this is good. All right, so we're just going to take 6 here, go to 21. So now Alexander has a 7-point lead. I mainly play MMOs and RPGs, and Fab just feels more like those games to me and just feels good. I mean, hey, man, like, whatever your reasons are for getting into Flesh and Blood, brother, like, I'm happy you're here, man. The more people play Flesh and Blood, man, the more people I have to talk to and hang out about the game and discuss theory. Like, I'm always down for that. So, Alexander chooses Snatch right there. I have 3 cards in hand and 1 card in arsenal. I actually like Alexander naming Snatch there over Artivore, because most of the time I'm going to want to play Artivore in a 5-card hand. This is an exception to that rule. I'm down 7 points and I need to get back into the game. So I am going to play my Artivore here, but I actually really like Alexander's name of Snatch, especially considering that we have not seen one yet. So it's not going to work out for him in this situation unless I just randomly like draw into it, which is always a possibility. But
bro, if you draw into it, I'm going to be like just kick Wing over here.
But I do really like his call right there. Like, I do think it was a good decision on his part to name that.
I hope you drew 2 Snatches.
That would be so bad. That would be hot dog time. Hot dog time. Right there. Every time. So, Kadachi for 1. And then we're going to come in for 2. 2 on hit mask. Now, this can get covered by equipment for Alexander, which is pretty solid for him. We're going to activate 5 for free. We're going to come in with the Phoenix Flame for 3 right here because of Shuko. And now we have another 2 on hit mask. Now, our hand wasn't very good. Our hand ended up being 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Like, our hand was actually extremely poor here, just based off of the fact that we played all blues but 1. And we took a chance on playing a 4-card Artivore hand, which, considering the game state and how it went, I think was the correct decision there. But unfortunately, sometimes it just doesn't pan out the way you want. Okay, so he starts with this round's on me, which is pretty solid. That's such a good card in this matchup. So Alexander's running the whole Phoenix Flame package when he's going first, which... For 8, huh? I mean, we're just going to block 8 here. Like, with this round's on me, like, this card buys him so much tempo, I think we're just blocking here to try and, like, keep our head above water at this point in the game.
So, here's an interesting thought process, right?
Yep.
In my head, I basically evened the game out besides equipment. And I'm contemplating just kind of taking a backseat on this turn and setting up a 5-card hand.
I mean, I'm up 2 points, and I'm up, what, 4 points of equipment right now?
If Kodachis are off, like, how good can those cards, like, actually be?
No, I agree. I think it's correct to play the That All You Got right here.
It's blown out by Blue Snatch.
Now, this was such a good card to draw, but I needed it to be 1 more card down. I can't throw Kodachis, and I don't think I can pass up this card, because technically the game is super close and Alexander has a 5-card hand. And I don't think drawing a card to put this on the bottom is correct, so I honestly think we just have to pass. Like, is the value I gain off of Sink below? So I attack for 4 and arsenal a card. If I draw blue, I just want to punch a monitor. I'm currently up 6. 2 points of life and 4 equipment. This card keeps me ahead and allows me to block and then come in for 7 next turn. So I think we're just going to pass. I think this is the correct play here. Now, ironically, had I come in for 4 draw card, it would have been like really good. But I still think I made the correct play. I mean, this hand blocks 7 pretty efficiently. Honestly, this hand blocks 10 pretty efficiently, and then I just get to attack for 3 in Arsenal. We'll take 3 here. I think we're taking 3 here. Flame Call Awakening here is actually pretty solid because he pitched a Phoenix Flame earlier, so I know he has one to go get. We'll block 3. Interesting. I'm always intrigued when people pass up a point on the Artivore there, but I think he did it to banish the Phoenix Flame. Yeah, he banished the Phoenix Flame, so that makes sense on his play right there. So we go to 17. I'm really curious to know what he picks here. The fact that he's thinking makes me think his hand might be a little awkward here. Because this could just be a very quick snap of draw card. So we're going to cover up 8 here. I'm not going to give Alexander another card. And then... So technically this would be the 3rd thing to hit. So he would get an extra card for next turn. Which means he's basically setting up a 5-card hand. So if I block 3, I go to 14. I'm now only up... I'm up 2 points on equipment, but I'm down 5 points of life. So I'm minus 3. And Alexander has a 5-card hand. And I would do my best to have a 5-card hand if I can here. This is a really interesting decision point.
I think the E-Strike decision I just made was super interesting. Basically, I said a card in your hand was worth more than a card in mine.
I mean, that's fair.
Which may have been wrong. Oh, that's kind of cracked.
Okay, so Lava Burst is insane here. The only thing I have going for me off of that is the fact that he doesn't have snaps. Okay, we're going to do what we can here. Okay, I guess these are cards I am allowed to draw. That's all I can say about the cards in my hand.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I will say this. On Talishar, Take the Tempo does this awful thing where when it's your turn, like you get to choose an action, the card acts like it's in your hand. But the moment you click anything, it leaves your hand because now you're choosing cards to pitch from.
Yeah.
And it shifts all your cards over about 1.5 inches.
Talashar's not great for stuff like that, buddy.
Like,
you kind of sometimes
time.
you just have to smile and take that kind of stuff on the chin. It's tough.
Blanket Mask.
I think we have to do this and give up a card here, which is sad. I could just give Mask and Shuko, but I don't think that's correct. I do not think that's the correct play here. If you don't mind me asking, where are you from? I am from Tennessee, sir. I am from Tennessee. Not a very big place. I tell everybody jokingly, Carly hates it when I say this, but more cows than there are people kind of place. Sheesh. Why, can you hear it in my accent or something, man? Are you from up north, Tony? So we pass on blocking because we have a second. That all you got?
Oh my word.
The odds of us being able to draw 2 cards off of these were very unlikely to begin with. This is going to be for 5. So if I go to 3 here, The only thing that kills me is Razor. Like, I
I
just
will
don't.
say the battle you got, you will get shafted sometimes when you play against the mirror and they have Ancestral.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it almost happened to me earlier. All right, so we're going to lead on this to get some cards out of Alexander's hand here. No, honestly, LOL. Okay,
Nah.
well, I'm glad that you can't hear my accent. I don't necessarily try to hide it, but I also don't try to advertise it to people. So, yeah, I'm in Ohio. I don't feel like Ohio is really in the north. Although you guys do have a lot of Bob Evans where you're from, which I like Bob Evans food more than I think most people.
Ohio is when you get into Tim Hortons country.
I don't even know who that is.
Oh my word. Oh my word. Oh, it's because my mom's from Canada, I guess.
I was like, are you just making up names and trying to make me sound dumb on camera?
Tim Hortons is like if Dunkin' was actually great.
If Duncan, like Tim Duncan?
No, like Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, Dunkin'
Hortons
Donuts.
is
I thought we were
Dunkin'
talking about
Donuts, but if it was
basketball.
actually good.
I thought we were talking about basketball. I was like, dude, when did you become a basketball connoisseur over there? I think Alexander's basically saying that he's hoping 19 to 3 is enough to just let him win the game here. Which,
Something like that. I'm going to talk after the game on whether a certain choice was correct or not.
okay, well, let's talk about it after the game. I like that.
Yes. 4 cards.
Bob Evans is soul food up here, brother. There is a Bob Evans here. It's the only Bob Evans within like 3 hours of us, which is really weird. But it's weirder that there's a Bob Evans where I live. But there's a Bob Evans here about 15 minutes from where I live, and I work there in college. And so like every time I like think of Ohio, I always think of like Bob Evans, like.
Now that I think about it, I ate at Bob Evans last time I was in Ohio. I think that's hilarious. You banished that thing, Phoenix Flame. You go, girl.
I'm going to. The only thing I have going for me right now is the fact that I have 4 points. The Phoenix Flame's going to be for 2? Or no, 3. Art of War. 3 Art of War, sorry. It's going to be for 3. So if you want to keep your hand, it's probably worth it to give Mask here.
Yeah.
I mean, with me at 3, you have a pretty solid chance of just winning the game.
That is the hope.
Now, the good thing here is that this is for 7, so you have to give me a card.
Yikes.
Making you give me a card here is great for me. Like, and Alexander goes to 1 here. All right, so I'm at 3, which is terrifying. And Alexander has access to 4 cards here. I mean, we're just gonna hope that our equipment will bail us out here. We don't really have Tim Hortons where I am. Is that like is this like a restaurant place? Like a coffee place, or?
It's like a Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, okay.
Like it's a franchise. It's huge in Canada. Okay, so he's like.
It's huge in Canada. Okay, I forget you like have family in Canada or something.
Interesting.
Okay, that's terrifying.
I have both of them in there.
What'd you say?
I have both of them in there.
I think Alexander's talking to himself.
The Phoenix Flames. Okay.
I'm in Northeast Ohio, south of Cleveland. Okay, that's cool. So are you like are you a big Cavaliers fan?
I'm hoping this is enough. Please. I need you to have some 2 blocks though. Is it just enough? Okay, it may have just been enough. In fact, perfect enough.
Yeah, the fact that I can't keep a card here is really bad.
So I did lose Phoenix Flame, so if my hand breaks,
I mean,
You cannot play Absorb and Aether.
okay. I like that. Good choice. No, I don't watch sports much. Okay, gotcha. That's fair. I feel like as I've gotten older, there's more people like me who watch sports regularly and like are like also like a big nerd that likes to play cards. So I think this is our play.
Oh, thank God.
That is very unfortunate for us.
Yeah, I don't have another board left.
So we'll take one, go to one.
As you can see, my hand was immaculate.
I was like, yeah, your hand being super mediocre is pretty good for me, thankfully. I mean, we get to take 2 cards out of Alexander's hand here, so like we have an opportunity to try and not lose right here. That was our last Art of War as well. We had to play defensively right there. How many sinks have we seen from Alexander? None. If we've seen none at this point, it's more likely he just didn't put any of them in here.
I don't even remember, to be honest.
So we're just gonna pass, and we're just gonna again. We're just at a point where like we're gonna have to hope that like, yeah, this hand kills us for sure.
I think so. I know I take every card. I don't know if I kill you or not.
Well, you definitely kill me because I just
all 2 blocks.
I have all 2 blocks.
Yeah.
I mean,
I had 1 breakpoint attack, and then I was just gonna throw this lava burst for 2.
I was like, if you have anything to throw at me, you win right here. Yeah, I was like, even that does it right there. Yeah, drawing all 2 blocks at the end is like, it's a pretty sad moment right there. That was the longest game we played tonight.
Thankfully, in that spot, I don't think it mattered. I don't think there's a single hand that lets you keep every card.
So
drawing a symbol yourself lets you keep a card, or drawing it out of you got for the last card.
So I had already seen all my that all you gots.
Oh, okay.
So the turning point of that game, there are 2 big factors here in my opinion. Alexander played all 3 Art of Wars and I had to play one defensively. I think that cost me points automatically. Like the fact that he was able to play all 3 gives him a better chance of winning the game. And then the second thing,
you played all 6 of your Diriacs.
No, I did. Which like, so the one complaint I have about playing all of my D-Reacts. So hang on, I lost that game. He had.
Honestly, I really liked that board going first. It was super aggressive. It didn't have any of the D-Reacts, and I got to throw the. I got to do Rise into Engulf and Flame Whip, which is crazy.
Yeah, you get to do that twice, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, you did it at least twice tonight. I don't think you've had it any other time. And I had 2. That all you got.
The tempo's actually becoming a bit of a star.
And 1.
But I do like where it's at with the 1 of.
And 2. That all you got in 1 hand. Only 1 got value. Okay, so looking back,
Isn't Nathaniel watching?
He was earlier. I don't know. So the fact that you played the 3rd Art of War was really good. And then the other thing that like I can't really complain about, but like that, like if I could change, I would, was the fact that I had both that all you gots in 1 hand. I had 2 of the 3 in 1 hand.
You only got the draw off 1 of them.
Right. So if I could spread those out, if I could have spread those out, it would have been better. Yeah. Because the turn, because I had Art of War that turn. So if I have like an attack and that all you got, I still get to have my 5-card Art of War hand.
Yeah.
Which would have been
2 and 2.
Huh?
Did we go 2 and 2?
Yeah, we went 2 and 2. So, because I was 5-0 before we started playing tonight, and finished 7 and 2. Yep.
Okay, which means I am now 2 of that deck's 17 losses.
That is true.
Out of, like 90 games.
Yeah, I mean, so I was 77 games in earlier, and that was before we started playing. So I was 5-0 before we started playing, which means at 62 and 17, I finished, or at 62 and 15, I finished 64 and 17 with the list before Cincinnati, which is really good.
Yeah.
Like, that's a great win percentage. I'd take that at almost any event.
But fun fact, tonight I knocked your win percentage down.
That is true. So what you said, there was a turn that you wanted to talk about.
Oh, okay, so when you kept the 3 cards and you were going to play your Arbor turn, I had Censor.
Okay.
And I could have played it. But it means not playing the Lava Burst for 7, and it means playing the Censor for 6. So in other words, I skip your turn, but I lose 7.
That's an interesting choice.
So it's like, arguably, it's like I'm giving up like 9-ish points to stop you from having a turn and trying to carry my life lead with my 4-card hand.
That's a tough decision.
But if my next 4-card hand isn't threatening enough, then you just get to put me at a lower life total before hitting me with the Arbor turn, which I think was the game. But if my hand is threatening enough, then I just play it way safer because it means you have the Arbor.
Right. That's an interesting decision point.
Widen the gap, and then basically I chose to try and widen the gap and see if the gap could win me the game.
Right.
Barely.
That's a really interesting choice right there. I honestly, sitting here, I don't know what choice I would have made.
It's so close.
Like, that is like an insanely tough decision point to make. Because you're just turning Take the Tempo into a 1 for... You're just turning Take the Tempo into a 1 for 5 with no text.
Instead of a 1 for...
But you lost, and you just give up the Lava Burst. Yeah, that's super interesting.
Yeah.
That's super interesting.
It's so interesting because, like, I knew you had, like, you know they have Article when they're keeping the cards like that.
Right.
Now, it would have been a little bit tougher if I didn't, like, know you as well because you played the 2 value gods, right?
Sure.
But even, like, me knowing you, I felt like you had Article, but if I'm playing...
You felt like what? I can barely hear you.
If I'm playing a blind player and they play that turn, I don't know if I'm very convinced that they have Article. Playing you, I was convinced you had Article, but that's because I play against you a lot.
Okay. Right? That's fair.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that does.
So,
that
like,
makes sense.
At that point, I was more like reading, like, the decision of playing Censor would have been more dependent on the fact that I was playing you than it would have been.
Yeah, because you know me, then you know some random person. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Exactly.
That makes sense. Okay. Well, dude, thanks for the games tonight, man. I appreciate it. I feel like I got a lot out of it.
Because the other thing is, some players would try to keep the value you got to be the pitch card for the Article.
Right.
And they take the 1 damage off of, or sorry, they take the 3 damage. Or give me like Mask and Shuko on the Blaze. Keep the extra card for the Article turn.
Yeah. I don't
argument
know.
Of like, oh, I want Mask to threaten an extra card, but if I give away Mask, I get an extra card.
Right.
So, like, it's different players will make different choices there.
That's true.
Like, realistically, you're not going to get another Mask trigger for the rest of the game, so it's literally a card now or card later.
Right. Yeah,
like
I think I'd almost rather it be a card later. I think that's just who I am, though.
Yeah, I usually try to play card later. Sometimes your hands are good enough and you play card now.
Sure. Yeah, no, it could have been correct to just give you the Shuko and the Mask and just keep the that all you got and play one of them when I knew it would be good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's tough. That's a tough decision. I don't know. That's something to think about tonight for sure. But dude, I'm gonna hop off here. Thanks for the games, man. I appreciate it, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, man.
See you, buddy. Okay, all right. Let's see here. Why is that turned up? It should not be. All right, homie. Hope to see or play you this weekend. I'll be a big dude in a Black Wolf Games and model shirt. LOL, dude, that sounds good, man. Yeah, man, if you see me, please come say hi, Tony. It'd be nice to meet you, brother. I enjoy meeting everybody from the community, man. So please come say hi to me if you see me. I'll be wearing this goofy red-looking headband that I love to wear. So, oh, guys, thanks so much for hanging out the stream tonight. I appreciate you guys being here. I feel like we got some really good testing in for Cincinnati. And overall record finished out at 64-17 across 91 games. So. I'm sorry, 81 games. Yeah, 81 games. So I feel really good about the deck. I've really liked the changes that I've made over the last few weeks. Like, the deck feels like it's in a good place. I just got to hope that I get a little bit lucky with my matchups this weekend, and I got to hope that I play well. Ultimately, that's the biggest thing. I'm a firm believer that, you need to get a little lucky when you're playing cards, but also think you need to play well, especially in a game that's as skill intensive as Flesh and Blood. So thanks so much for hanging out. I guess I'm not streaming this weekend, so I'll be back next week. Good night, good luck. Thank you, man. Santa, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I hate you can't be there this weekend. But guys, thanks so much, and I will see you guys next week. Have a good weekend, guys.